yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Backstage with Alex J. Are you ready?
You what?
And now, your host, Al Silva.
Who?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a epic show for you today because it's a monumental occasion. The first guest ever to appear on the Getting Ready Backstage with Al and Jay show is here. We have Detroit metal band Get the Gatling in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Get the Gatling. How are you guys doing tonight? Let me put my face on here. Oh, I got to unmute you guys as well. I didn't want them to talk in the intro, so I muted them. But now they're unmuted. So why don't we go around the room? Everybody just introduce yourself and what role you play in the band. And so we'll start over here. We got PJ, but tell me who you are.
PJ Harris. I play guitar. I'm a string daddy.
String daddy. Look at him go.
I'm Jimmy. I play drums, and I also do a little bit of extra EDMs and sound effects for the band as well.
Fantastic.
My name's Steven Thrall. I do the vocals for the band. I'm the big yelly boy.
Oh, yelly boy.
Name's Harley. I'm just the ride here today.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Harley. You're the most critical member because without you, they wouldn't have been here, which is fantastic.
Truth.
So, I've been talking for a long time trying to get guests on here, but everything was always a setup. That's why this show's called Getting Ready, because to be honest, I've been trying to do this for like years, and I've had other ideas for shows, and I'd put on whole YouTube channels. I'd do all sorts of stuff, and it just, I never went because I felt like I was always getting ready, and I said, wouldn't it be funny if I just made a show that was called Getting Ready, because I'm just constantly getting ready, and we just hit record and went, and that's where we've been. So this is the 12th episode of this show. We've been doing it for a few months now, but I knew I had to get somebody on here, and I met Steven quite a long time ago at a local show, and I already knew I loved the band, and these guys are just awesome dudes, so I was like, we got to get them on. So as soon as I reached out to Steven, I was like, hey, Steven, like to have you guys on the show, and he immediately messaged me back, yes, we would love to be on the show. I said, absolutely fantastic. So glad to have you guys here. So I want to start off. Your guys' name is Get the Gatling. So who started the band and what is the name about?
I don't even know. What's the rating of this podcast?
Oh, anything. I guess it's anything. Anything goes. If it gets too spicy, I'll just beep it somehow.
So, I got home from work when I was delivering pizzas, right? And I just had an extra tab of acid sitting around. So I took that when I got home. I turned on a bunch of music biopics like Rocket Man, Bohemian Rhapsody, some actual documentaries, and I literally just wrote a bunch of names in a notebook. And Get the Gatling was the one that sounded best, so I kind of just went with that.
He sent the page to me over Messenger. He sent a photo of everything he wrote down, and I'm a big Western and Red Dead Redemption fan, so when I read Get the Gatling, I was like, yeah, let's do that one. And he had a bunch of exclamation points in front of it, so like... I could tell that that's the one he wanted too.
He's like, get the Gatling. Get the Gatling. So then Steven, when did you contribute to that then?
Okay, so we got together completely by happenstance. So back in like middle school, or was it high school?
I met you in high school.
High school, okay. I used to be what we call nowadays an elder emo. Okay.
Elder emo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're a little younger than the elder emos.
Yeah, that's true. So I used to be that kid that had like black flippy hair, wore beanies all the time, looked super freaking edgy. Looked like I wanted to put my brains on a wall at a moment's notice. Usual stuff.
Yep.
He looks like me now.
Something I used to do all the time, because I was so edgy and angry at the world, is I'd have headphones in all the time. I'd walk through the halls, loud music playing. I didn't like socializing with people, which is really weird because people that know me nowadays know I'm a very sociable, very happy, very loving to meet people type of guy. But back then, I was going through a lot mentally, so I just fucking shut down. Regardless, I was sitting there at the lunch table and I was singing 3 Days Grace.
Ask Alexandria.
Oh, was it Asking Alexandria? I thought it was 3 Days Grace.
No.
He knows the story better than I do most times, but yeah, I was
seeing this kid just sitting at a lunch table, like screaming in the lunchroom, and like,
yeah.
this is before metal was mainstream, so like, I'm pretty sure he was used to people looking at him like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was straight up stand up and
sat
scream
down.
era.
I gave him the little like motion you give people to take their headphones out, like the pulling out your earbuds motion. I was like, join my band.
Nice.
Back then, I like never had any thoughts or ideas of joining a band. To be honest, like I didn't even think music like was in my like future. To be honest, like it just kind of all happened. Like PJ got me into it, and then I completely sucked complete butt for the first couple of years, and eventually like I started like really cracking at it, and I've been doing vocals now for almost 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah.
And when you first started, is it something that just like kind of came naturally to you, or did you have to like
No. So that's a big common misconception with like a lot of vocals. I won't lie. There's definitely probably some people out there that are naturally gifted and talented and can just pop that out like no problem at all. But these guys know best. Like there was years, and I mean years of work and dedication that I put into this stuff. Like we play live in his uncle's garage. And there was a video of my voice cracking horribly trying to sing.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah. And it was something I couldn't escape for fucking years, man.
Yeah.
Like, things like that kind of gives you the motivation and the drive to push harder. But, yeah, it took me years, and we took a brief break from 2017 to maybe 2016.
It was 2017.
17.
Okay, 17 to like...
It was right after I graduated.
It was from 2017 to like COVID, basically.
Damn.
And that entire time, I just basically sat there and I was like, you know what? You know, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to be a cover artist. You know, I watch a lot of guys like Andy Czek, Volkill covers, a lot of like bigger YouTubers that at the timing had only done vocal covers. That was their name. That was their whole thing, is they would take other bands like songs and make it their own.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked up to a lot of those guys, especially Andy Czek. Like, I fucking love that man. And I was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. And PJ eventually hit me back up, and he's just like, hey man.
Me and James been jamming for like 2 months straight, like every few days.
Knocking the rust off, just getting it together.
It's maybe time to get the band back
James
together.
have like, even through that break, we still met up and we jammed, but like...
Oh, yeah. Well, what happened during that break was we got a job together working inventory.
Yeah.
And while working that job, we also we met 2 other rappers that also worked with us because we would all carpool together. That was the point of the job, is we would carpool and drive company vehicles. And we would all just freestyle to and from work every day. And then eventually we started recording songs together, making hip-hop and stuff during our hiatus as a band,
And you didn't bring that hip-hop element to the Gatling.
A little, well, I do a little bit on drums.
Yeah. Oh, with the beats.
I can't
with the
rap.
rhythm.
That's my big thing. I'm
You
no
can't
Ghost
rap.
Emotion. No, I can't rap. Those guys, I gotta give love and props to those dudes because they are hard. But
That's where you need the featuring blank. Get the
Dude.
Gatling featuring.
Dude, my brain would explode if I could get like Ghost Emotion or even Splinters on one of our songs at some point, dude. That'd be phenomenal.
There
I'd
we
love
go.
that. That'd be phenomenal.
Collaborations.
Absolutely.
And that's the crazy part. Like even just getting out there and networking and going to shows and then meeting people, and then eventually that relationship is created, and then it leads to opportunities down the future, kind of like us. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, we did a show together, but now we're doing something else that's almost separate from it.
It was Color Wave we met, right? At the
Absolutely,
Yes, sir.
Color Wave. That was a fantastic festival. I know Zachary is like. It was one of the biggest headaches that he's ever done.
Yeah.
And so Zachary is the bassist of a band called Natural Graffiti. They've already messaged me. I've been messaging Zachary for so long. I'm like, gotta get you on the show. I always call them the Natty Daddies. Like, when can I get these Natty Daddies on the show?
Sisters.
Yeah.
The
And
sisters.
he's far, though. He's Bay City. So it's like, I mean, I was surprised you guys report here, and I was like, oh, shit, that's like an hour and a half away. But that's why I was like, you guys should probably come earlier. So that way you could get home, not at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, we're used to that.
Yeah, I'm prepared. My schedule's completely cleared. Like, if we're here till 2 in the morning, we're here till 2 in the morning.
Well, there you go.
I might go take a nap out in the car then, because I got to work in the morning.
Last December, I think it was, we played a show in Battle Creek.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Battle Creek.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
That was a bit of a drive.
Is that Where did you guys play?
Music Factory.
Music Factory. We're doing a gig December 6th at the Music Factory.
Really good place.
The venue's great.
like it.
So what was so funny was like, you know, we got these tickets and we had to sell them, and I was like, guys, nobody that we know is gonna drive that far. Nobody's gonna. First of all, they're not gonna pay to have a ticket and then drive that far. So I said, hey, how about this? Why don't we just give away the tickets? Like, we already paid for the tickets, so it's like, why don't we just give them away? Because then somebody will be like, well, I wouldn't have went to pay, but a free ticket, that kind of maybe the $15 in gas, I might be able to get there.
Yeah,
so that's the only way. Because honestly, we were just doing it for the opportunity to play at the Music Factory, not really because we thought anybody we could get to go over there. Because we have another show in December with Disturbio and Natural Graffiti and stuff, and that's in Detroit. And I'm like, okay, Detroit, that's kind of our bread and butter. I mean, Mario literally lives in Detroit, so I was like, that'll be cool. So Music Factory is really just to play there and experience that, because I've seen not me physically being there, but I've seen videos of shows there, and I go, oh, that place looks pretty sweet.
Absolutely.
But you guys played there, so how did it sound like that's the biggest part that people don't get, is like the sound on stage is always different than what the people hear.
Yeah.
And depending on the venue, there are certain venues, I won't talk shit about them, but I'm like, oh, bro, I can't hear nothing back here. And when you can't hear enough for yourself,
dude,
it's like you're
drives
pretending
me
to play.
insane.
You know?
we got our start for the longest playing fucking bars.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bar in town in Port Huron called The Outpost, and I owe that place. It's a love-hate relationship with it sometimes, but I owe that place a lot of fucking credit, to be honest, because like we got our start there when we first got together.
Open mics every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday they had open
Shout
mics.
out to Heather.
Any band, Heather McCauley. Seriously, if you're watching this, you're a real one, and I owe
Heather and the
everything
Heathens.
that we got to you. Honestly, you got us started, and I'm so thankful for you. But
Nice.
but yeah, any band could get up there and play. And back in the day, I had massive stage fright. Like, I would fucking shake and, like, the whole nine. And it was the stupidest thing ever, because it's like, I want to be a metal vocalist, and then a crowd of people watches me, and I can't.
Yeah.
I just shut down. So the Outpost really got me comfortable and got me into my professional, like, boots. And when we first, like, carried on from the Outpost, there was a couple of promoters that we worked with, and they did a lot of stuff out of bars as well. So we would just go to, like, the Music Box, was it? Or is it a different name? I always get it mixed up with another
The one
venue.
in Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Music Box.
Yeah, we'd go to
Music
Jackson
Box.
to the Music Box. There'd always be, like, basically almost no one there. But, like, you know, a show's a show to us. We'll play anything.
Yeah.
Exposure, baby.
Yeah. We
We
went
got a nice
to-
stage setup though with the Music Box. I like it.
My favorite, like,
Yeah, their
bar
stage is killer.
stage setup was the Hamilton. It was the Hamilton pub? Or
No, we haven't played Hamilton Street.
what was the one?
Are you talking about the one in Hamtramck?
Hamtramck.
New
yeah.
Dodge Lounge?
New Dodge. New
Lounge.
Dodge.
Oh, New Dodge Lounge.
I
played there a few
loved
times.
playing there. And yeah, we started, like, kind of going around. I felt like we started getting some good traction once, like, places like the Sanctuary, Diesel, like, those started being open and available to us. And there was a lot of musicians nowadays don't realize how important, like, connections are.
Yeah.
A lot of those early shows starting off as a band does not matter so much about the people that show up. It's still important, don't get me wrong, but it's the other bands that you interact with, because thanks to us becoming so close with Splinters, becoming close with Rob from Atwater and Nothing After This.
Zach from Natural Graffiti as well, like you
yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
earlier. He
Like-
even played with us for a couple shows.
Yeah. He was our bassist for a little bit too and helped us out with a lot of stuff.
No
else.
way.
Yeah.
He played bass for you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a few times.
He played, I think, bass for almost like for
Probably
12.
six times at least.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
at
6 to
least.
12 shows. He was just
No
there.
way.
Yeah.
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 That's awesome.
But that's the whole thing, is, like, you know, sitting down, being able to interact with people and just being nice.
Yeah.
And just saying, hey, man, sick fucking set.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my name's Steven. I'm one of the bands that's playing tonight. That alone is enough to get in someone's head. And it's like, you know, anytime a band drops off, you know, it's like, hey, I met these guys over at this one place.
Yeah.
What if we call them?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times we've gotten shows from someone dropping off last second. We literally had a show where it was like the night before it was supposed to happen, a band dropped off. And the promoter was, like, freaking out. They're like, I can't find an opener, and, like, I need an opener for the show. And someone just word of mouthed us to them, and we're like, yeah, you know what? Short notice, we'll play it. And
Mount up.
we had 2 shows booked. Like, I got that message while we were already at a show, playing a show. And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess tomorrow, guys, we're right back at it. We're going right back out and playing another show on Sunday.
Nice. Now, what I found is like it's really hard, and I know there's artists out there. They're like, oh, I go on a tour, I'm playing 2 shows a day, I'm all on. I'm like, it's kind of tough to play like back to back, let alone like every day or multiple. And so, like, how do you guys like kind of keep that? I think it's like the problem is like wanting to perform at max capacity, right? Giving it all for your performance, but it's like to do it over and over again and do a lot of shows because you guys play a lot of shows. I feel like my band, it's like. I want to play once a month. That would be ideal, just once a month, because every other weekend and we can practice. Every other weekend we do a show or something like that, so it's consistent. But there's times where we go 3-4 months without doing a show, and I'm just like, oh, bro, I don't want to do it. And then you got to knock the rust off again.
There's absolutely nothing else I actually want to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is the only thing I want to do.
So how often would you want to play if you could do it ideally? You're like every
We gave this
week.
guy.
He keeps bags packed by the door at all times.
We gave this guy. I straight up. I told him I was just like, hey, you know what? During this month, I think it was like November or October.
It was August.
August.
You guys gave me free reign. To
We had
book
12
what I
shows.
wanted.
12 shows in 1 month.
no way.
Yeah. Literally anyone that had ever emailed us or said like, hey, I want you guys to play, he just said yes to.
Yep, I got it. Telling the boys.
So my boss had a fucking field day when I requested all those days off, but like I was like I was working part time. I was only working like I think like 12 hours a week at the timing, so it was like
Jason's finally awake. Would you actually believe this?
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-host of the show, and he was sleeping, but Jason's actually made it into the show. Jason, you're awake now. Everything's good. How you doing tonight, dude?
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid. Thanks. Well, Jason, look at this. We actually got a whole band here. It's called Get the Gatling, metal band here. He's heard a lot about you. I've talked about, like, anytime we do a show, I always talk about, the people we play with, the people we meet and stuff like that. So Jason's actually based out of Houston, Texas, so I got to Skype him in. But the reason why I think that's really cool to have the Skype, because I know there's going to be people that want to come on the show that are nowhere near here. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this will open us up to anything. Like, maybe we can get I told Jason all the time, I'm like, if I just message 1,000 people, 1,000 celebrities, high musicians, you think I can get one? You know what I mean? If I message 1,000, we might get, I don't know, Lady Gaga, Jay-Z. I don't know who we get.
You gotta hit up,
Anything's possible if you try hard enough.
You gotta hit up Nicolas Cage, man. That dude's signing up for fucking everything nowadays.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Power in numbers.
Look at his recent movies, man. He only acts in like B movies nowadays. Movies that have like little to like no funding, like super small budget. If he likes the character he plays, he'll do it. There was a movie called Willy's Wonderland that was like a ripoff of like FNAF, and he signed up for it to play the main character because he didn't have to say a single word in the script.
What?
Serious.
I'm gonna get to B tier.
I'm
That's
get a
it.
hold of him for a music video.
Yeah,
There you go.
He's like one of the easiest people to get a hold of, and 9 times out of 10, he'll straight up just be like, if he likes it or he thinks it's a good idea, he doesn't care about the money. He'll just be like, yeah, let's do it.
There we go. All right, Jason, we got you as a little circle guy in the corner now, so now you can actually say something. Jason, say something so I can make sure you're loud enough for when you say things.
Something so that you can make sure that I'm loud enough when I say things.
That's all right. Maybe a little louder, Jason.
Is there a way that we
bit.
can get him in the in-ears? Because I don't hear him on my end.
You don't hear him on
hear
your
him.
end.
You hear him?
Well, give us a little more, Jason. Give the people a little bit more, Jason.
A little bit more.
There we go. That's a little better. Do you guys hear that random dude coming into your ears?
It might be just my setup, but like he's like really quiet. Like it sounds like almost like he's playing off your laptop, and I'm hearing him from a distance through my ears.
Need some big boy headphones like the rest
I'm trying
of
to
us.
think here.
Maybe.
I got Steven hooked up with the wireless because I figure when they're gonna
Oh,
perform
yeah.
for you people. You won't believe it. They're gonna perform live here in my apartment. My neighbors are like, "What the hell is going on here?" Because Steven's going. But I got him wireless because I want him to be able to be free here. So I'm trying to think here. I think that's for the phones and you.
If not, it's fine. I'll just listen extra carefully.
That's all right. He just won't hear anything you say, Jason. That's all right. We'll hear him. We'll be able to put it back there for
Someone
you.
just translate for me, okay?
Play a game of telephone and it'll be something totally different by the time.
Oh
it
yeah.
gets to Steven.
What did he say?
That's gonna make
guys?
it so
Oh, he
much
said
more
that.
fun.
I don't know.
So we were talking about the band, and you were talking about the start. Now, I did notice this. A drummer, guitarist, singer, driver. Where's the bassist? What's going on with the bass in this band?
That's a case-by-case situation.
Yeah, officially we're a trio band, and this has been our issue since we were doing this while still going to school, like middle and high school. Me and Peach met first and started jamming just as a drummer and guitarist, and we brought Steven in.
Yeah, man.
And
Me and James met when we were like 12.
yeah,
Dang.
yeah. I moved around like to schools all over Michigan, and finally landed at the same middle school as Peach. And I was assuming that I'd probably end up moving schools again in no time, but we ended up sticking with each other. And oh yeah,
Dang.
he got me smoking weed.
Got the greens.
Hey, but no, it's always been an issue, kind of having a bassist. Not an issue, I shouldn't
Yeah.
say, but we've always really just bonded closest with the three of us.
Yeah.
And right now, I guess our decision, what we do is we bring in a bassist for a run of shows for a little bit,
like a fill-in.
from another band or something,
Mhm.
and then that way,
I record all the strings.
yep, a little bit of synergy goes on there, because
Yeah.
then people can get to know both bands and everything. And I think we might stick with that for a little bit. You
Yeah.
know, if we find a bassist that like just feels like a fourth brother, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. When you have childhood friends,
Yeah.
there's like a bond that once you're older, it's hard to form that
Yeah.
with another.
And you don't want somebody to come into the band, screw up the mojo,
Oh
screw
yeah,
up
because
the...
we've seen
yeah.
it happen, especially in our local scene. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna name any bands or nothing like that, but we've seen bands disband because of bassists specifically. Fuck bassists. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
F them. Every one of you out there. No,
That's
you know what? So
wild.
we had the same thing going on. So in my band, when I first started, so I was actually in a, I like to say it was like surf metal, because we started a lot more surfy. We ended up just being a lot more thrashy, because honestly, like I grew up with thrash metal. That was like the 80s. That was big for me. And so Dylan, who's the lead guitarist of my band Epic Disappointments, me and him did a two-piece band because we could not find a bassist. And I was trying so hard to find somebody to fill in. To be honest, I was playing the drums, and I said, man, if we can find somebody for the drums, I'll play the bass.
Yeah.
But we couldn't find either one, so I said, okay, I'll just do the drums. So we always say we're the white stripes of metal, because it was metal, but there was only two of us. And honestly,
with
like,
I'm
it's
with it.
it was a little difficult to kind of pull it off, but you know, we had fun. And then we found a bassist, and it was this guy named Rob, and he had a good synergy with us because we were good friends, but he wasn't. You know, he wasn't that great at the bass. He would know he's not that great at the bass. It's not a new thing. He's like, I wasn't great at the bass. Bro, you weren't great at the bass. We all know that. But, man, that guy was high energy. He was, like, running up and down the stage and jumping out. Like, half the time he'd unplug his bass accidentally because he was going nuts. And because that was my biggest thing was, like, I needed something to be able to fit in. Like, for me, being in a band is more about being with, like, friends. Like, being with people I want to hang out with and chill. Let's go to a show or let's hang out versus like, you know, some bands, they just meet together and then they practice and they go, see you guys next week, and that's it. And that's work. You know what I mean?
Stressful too, so you need to have people that you're comfortable being stressed around, and you know it's not gonna like affect anything. You know, you guys
Yes.
can
Writing
just
music,
keep
man.
move on. Keep
Yeah, me
moving
and
forward.
this man have lived together before. Like,
Yeah, writing music's like stressful.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. At least for us, like a lot of the times, like it's not so much that we're at each other's throats or anything like that. It's just like having that outlet. Like we're just sitting there and we're doing stuff, and like James is basically our editor, so to say.
Yeah.
If it gets the seal of approval from James,
Nice.
we're good. Like he's the final last.
Yeah.
He's the
like,
final editor.
He's
basically.
the gatekeeper for the song. Like if it can be released to the public, it has to have his approval.
Nice.
And most times people would be like, you know, complain about it. I love that about James. I really do. PJ is our infinite idea dude. Like I can't tell you how many times we get like random like art pieces sent to us in the band chat at like 3 in the freaking morning because he can't sleep, and he's just like, what about this for like art for this song? Or
I'm
like,
gonna
what,
edit a bunch of pictures. And
yeah,
stuff.
or
Heck yeah.
you know, anytime we have band photos taken, he's like, look at what I edited with this, and he'll just like slap it in there.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you guys like each person has their contributions, like what you guys are doing to add to the band. Because honestly, there's so much work to be in a band that goes in a band, and it really can't fall on one person. Because if it does, you're talking about stress. Then you're like, I burden the stress, and the other guys are just lackadaisy having fun. It's like, no. We all got to work hard at this thing. We all got to be pulling some
It's like a
weight.
clock.
Yeah.
Like James does all our electronic stuff. Like I get all the tracks. I'm the one in the DAW mixing levels, making sure everything's like not drowning each other out,
Yeah.
and then send it out to the guys, get their notes. Then I'm back in the DAW.
There we go.
Yeah, honestly, I hate to say, I'm kind of a slacker in this project.
Oh no,
honest.
no,
Like,
Steven, no.
No, I'm just saying, man. Like, I'm the socialization. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
the
no.
face of the band.
You're the front man.
Yeah,
That's right.
You are
I-
so much better at just going up and talking to
Yeah.
people than I
Yep.
am.
I'm all about the socialization and just talking to people, and like anytime we need to make a post about a show, any type of promotion, like that's my strong suit.
Yeah.
I'm like basically the social media manager type.
Yeah. Well, even doing your side thing, like you were saying, like I've seen Steven's vocal covers and stuff like that.
Oh, dude.
And
Yeah,
shoots
he's
covers
definitely got the
out
most
like
traction.
Crazy.
and
on
what's
social media.
fantastic because like somebody will watch and they'll be like, "Oh, that's sweet," and then you're like, "Oh, I'm actually in a band. Go check out my band stuff." And they're like, "Oh, it's stuff." So like that is like a funnel. Like he's also a funnel. You know what I mean? It's like he could take it from his thing and throw it over to you guys as a band, and it just adds to it, which is fantastic.
I'm definitely the always in my computer one. Either designing merch, designing posters for shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
That's awesome. Well, I think I'd like to. So I told the guys the idea would be like they play songs and stuff, not just the whole thing. We'll play a song and then we'll keep talking and then we'll play a song and stuff like that. So, what's the first song you guys are going to want to play for us?
That would be the first two songs that we wrote, which is Conjure and When Wings Sprout Too Early. Now, I say two songs.
Yeah.
It's uploaded on Spotify as one song. It's kind of
Okay.
a mashup of two,
Yeah.
Because both of them together is only equals like one.
The
2-minute
one goes
song.
into the other. They mesh
Yes. Yep.
together.
Yes.
Yep.
So how did the song come about? Like,
So Conjure literally was our first ever practice song. We get together, and the way that we usually wrote music was we would just jam.
Yeah.
He would just play something on guitar. James, like we have this natural synergy where James can follow along with PJ, and we're pretty good on making stuff on the fly.
That happens when you've been jamming with somebody for 12 years.
Right, right. And so we were sitting there, and every session we would record and record and record and
Yeah.
record.
heck yeah.
And Conjure was the first song that we started piecing together bit by bit. I really liked the ambiance. I really liked the feel of it, and like almost immediately, all three of us knew like this is our opening song. Like this sets the tone, sets the vibe. Anytime we go to a show, especially if it's a show where it's mixed genres,
Yeah.
I love when that intro plays and I get on that stage and I immediately start hitting those lows and the look on people's faces, and they're just like, "What's happening?" Our Halloween show, we came in with robes. Like we had like robes over our.
Heck yeah, dude.
Like we looked like cultists. And, the energy was immaculate for that. It was amazing. But yeah, Conjure. It's one of the ones that doesn't really have much of a story. To be honest, it's just a song about like truly like summoning energy for the night. Like just it's the vibe check. It's
And that
like,
was the idea for the name of it is Conjure.
yeah.
We knew it
Conjure,
was gonna
bring
open
out.
up. We knew
Yeah.
it was gonna like be the first song that
Yeah.
we play on stage and the first song that we play that plays on the EP.
Yeah.
So we wanted it to also have that vibe lyric wise as well.
Yeah.
About conjuring.
Like a
things.
dedicated
We're
open.
conjuring our future as a band, hopefully.
And so when did you write this song? What year did you write this song? You said it was
21.
first
Toward the end of 21.
end of 21.
When we first started getting together jamming again.
Oh, okay. Very nice. All right, so I'm gonna get them loaded here. If you have flashing light issues, there's gonna be some flashing lights here. But I wanted to make sure you guys got a performance on the internet because you're sitting here watching here. So just give me 1 second, Jason. Can you blabber for like I don't know, like 20 seconds? You start blabbering and go.
Blabbering.
Yeah, just blabber
Oh,
first.
Man,
for a
no,
second.
we don't even have a
pressure.
subject or nothing.
No, yeah, no. How's your
Dang,
day
all right.
going, Jason?
So
How is it?
it's going pretty well. I literally just started it. I was told that I was getting some kind of call,
Yeah.
to like.
I called
to,
you
like,
twice. I called
did you?
twice. I said-
You might have done
I
that,
did the,
but
the Bill Riley. I was like, "Hey, we're doing it live. We're doing it live."
yeah, no, so like I woke up and then I was like, well, you can't get ready without
shit.
coffee, so
My vocals have escaped my
grab
body.
the coffee.
Well, you gotta have coffee, Jason. You know you do.
Yeah, I mean, for this show, it's
Song being
almost
called Conjure.
fire. But yeah. Also to the people who are viewing, like get active in the comment section here, because I'm over here looking
Yeah,
at you
Jason's
guys.
the admin too, so like he got to be posting and he's putting in. We're talking about everybody sharing work. Jason's job is to do all the boosting and talking on the internet while I'm talking in real life. So he's doing his job out there. That's why you can't see his face because he's working so hard behind the scenes.
We love a hardworking man.
All right, so I got them
Love you
loaded
too.
up here. I just wanted to put a little ambiance here in the room. Oh yeah. They're like, I lit a fire and there's smoke everywhere. No, I brought a fog machine because I was like, let's fog it up here. And then we'll turn this a bit. Oh, yeah, I'm already seeing. This is
Or it's gonna be like that
This is
place
literally
is
a
so
test
loud
to
and it's
see if my neighbors will complain. This is why I was like, we got to bring them in. But honestly, like Steven, we were doing the sound check, and he's like, it's really kind of quiet outside of it, besides Steven screaming his head off. This one, so this was the one you need me to play the intro, right?
Yes, please.
All right, let me just load up the intro here. And then
I'm getting ecstasy of gold vibes already.
yeah, let's see here. Let me throw room.
Sorry, I promise I'm not being a dick by being on my phone. I'm just
No,
looking
he's
at the
got to share.
comments.
I was trying to do the same thing. I was like listening to Steven, and he saw me on the phone. I was like, no, trust me. I'm sharing and posting and stuff. I'm just. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Let me load this.
I don't know where my pick is.
Oh, you're gonna want that.
We're not ready.
We're never ready. Never ready enough.
Hang on here. Oh yeah. All right. Make sure this is going. Here, do you want this yellow? Yellow? I got these. Here, give them both of those.
Both of them.
Would you just look at them?
Whoa! Absolutely fantastic. Fellas over here
Best applause
killing
we've
it.
ever gotten.
There's like 1,000 people out there. Yes, 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 yes. The chat's going crazy. Everybody's saying heavy, so good, getting pumped. We get the horns out there. Fantastic. Oh man, I'm getting pumped too. We should bring back Harley over here and let him know.
Absolutely. Texting him
You
right
got
now.
you got the text, the signal. It's the bat signal. Harley, come back in. I gotta unplug the lights, otherwise everybody's gonna be like, oh, the lights are making me go crazy here.
You're making me horny.
No. There we go. Oh man, that's good. That feels good to be able to hear some good stuff like that. I just, first of all, I think I just want to do a toast here. Everybody get your Gatorades and waters.
All right. All right.
I want to thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Harley, we're just doing a toast. Welcome back. I just want to toast to Get the Gatling for coming out here, doing your thing. I appreciate you guys so
Toast
much.
to you for having us.
This
Absolutely.
is a fantastic occasion. I'll remember for the rest of my life. Thank you so much. Cheers to you guys. Thank you.
Our first podcast, your first guest.
Fantastic. You know those first. You always remember your
Dude,
first.
popping each other's cherries.
Oh, man, it feels so good, Steven.
The funniest thing is that, like, at first I couldn't. It wasn't coming through on the call, so I was like, "Oh, better go over to the live." And then
yeah,
it
you
was
gotta go
like,
to the live thing. I forgot. I
and
don't
then-
think I have it routed to you.
I was a little worried for a second, but then when
Everybody-
when
they
I
just
heard
see
it on
them
the live,
jamming.
I was like, on the live though, I was like, "Oh man, it's actually coming through really nicely." Like this, actually, it actually was a really good experience. And kudos, man. That song was heavy, dude.
Heavy, bro.
That was
as soon as
amazing.
I love the build. That's exactly what we're talking about. Like the build up, it's they call it drama. It's you build that drama because it's a dramatic sort of thing. Metalman 2317 says, "Is there any way to mosh in the chat? Swing around, get a little bit there."
Just start crowd killing emojis.
That's right. Crowd killing emoji. Is there a crowd killing emoji? It's just a guy punching a dude.
Yeah, I just do
He's
a
just going
fist
out
and
there.
like, you know, just a random
Fist
person.
dude. Fantastic. Wonderful. So, like, one of the things I want to ask you, so now you guys have been doing this for a few years, so, like, what is the metal scene like? So we're in Metro Detroit, you know, and so, like, obviously you've been doing this for years. When you started versus how it is now, like, what is the metal scene out there in Detroit?
In the city, killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's-
outside? Is that one?
Yeah, so you get north, like Port Huron, and out where we're out here, like where we normally live, it's rough. Detroit, though, it's amazing. There's no shortage of amazing bands, amazing bookers, amazing just people in general just out there. There's so many people that we've met on the road that have been permanent faces and like permanent supporters for a lot of our music. So I'm forever thankful for all of them. But out towards like Port Huron, northern, like you know, Bay City, I can't really say too much for it, but like, you know, in the thumb area,
Yeah.
it's a little rougher, honestly, because Port Huron's kind of like on that little crease of the thumb,
Yeah. Yeah.
and a lot of that's out there is just country. I mean, even with us playing the Outpost, like I can't tell you how many times we had like older people scowling at us, and
Yeah.
I heard like an older gentleman one day go, "They call this music nowadays."
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
Oh, no.
it was a
Like, yeah,
time.
but your kids love it.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's no shortage of judgment, but the people, amazing. I can't really say too much about how it's changed over the years in the
Yeah.
Detroit area, because we've only been a part of it now for, God, 3 years. So, I mean, I feel like we're in a great renaissance of the metal scene. I've heard from other people. The people you'd really want to talk to is Splinters.
Yeah. Splinters
has been in the metal scene and in music in general now for, God, I think like 10 years or something like that, maybe a little longer.
Something
maybe.
like that.
They've been a part of. They had a group beforehand. Sorry, boys, don't kill me. It used to be called Pick Up the Pieces, and I think they were pop punk or some type of pop or something like that.
I'm just not finding out about that.
I have no knowledge of this.
I think I could be wrong, and if I am, I'm a jackass. But I'm like 80% positive.
Yeah.
So I've had a conversation with Nick before, and I'm pretty sure he straight up said like, "Yeah, we are part of a band called Pick Up the Pieces," but they've been around longer than we have, so they've seen probably a lot of rise and fall and a lot of stuff, which is why like I'm so happy and supportive of them and the success that they're getting, because they've been in this game for a grip now, and to see them starting to come on top of it finally after all the work they put in is phenomenal, man.
Although I will say the shows that we booked ourselves in town, like there's a few that I made from the ground up. Like there was a benefit show we did for a friend, and another show that somebody came to us and asked us to be part of. In those two shows, they were in a really small venue that's actually a clothing store called Main Street Ensemble. And like still to this day, those are two of my favorite shows that we've played.
Yeah.
There was also another one we put on in a spot called The Office, which we packed out the back of that place.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so many people came out, but that's because it was a free show.
Yeah.
People love free.
Yeah.
I don't know if it wasn't like New Year's or anything like that. Was there
No,
a special
it was in
thing?
June. No,
yeah, I was going to say,
no.
there wasn't even a special holiday for it, but it was crazy.
No, somebody had us booked for a show that day, and Natural Graffiti was on the same bill, and that dude became a problem with literally all the bands. Yeah. And then I swooped in, and I was like, hold on,
Once again,
guys.
the connections thing.
Yeah, and I was like, hold on, guys. Let me find something. And I messaged somebody that I know in town in a band called Pennyboard. They're a punk band, but homeboy runs the entertainment for The Office. So I messaged him, and I was like, hey, I've got like 3 or 4 bands that we were supposed to play a show, but the booker he literally started just threatening everybody.
What?
Yeah, I remember Steven showing me that stuff, and it's like, really?
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I messaged him, and he was like, yeah, you got a whole night of entertainment. It's $400. So I literally, at the end of the night, I got the pay, and I split it between all the bands evenly, and they were like, I didn't even know this was going to be a paid show.
Right? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
And you know what's funny when you said that about the punk thing? That was the other thing I want to ask you about is influences. So, like, what are your guys' influences? Because I can already tell just looking at you guys, you have different vibes.
Yeah.
So, like, why don't we start with you, PJ? Like, what are your influences that you funnel through?
I actually have probably the most punk influence. Older AFI is some of my favorite music, and I'm not talking like self-titled. I'm not talking December Underground. No, I'm talking like All Hallows EP, like Black Sails Flying in the Sun. A lot of music like that, but on the other side of the spectrum is like Slipknot, Mastodon, like the heavier stuff that still brings in some of the lighter influences. Like my favorite thing is a really heavy song that brings in like a lighter tone on the guitars, but it's still a crazy, like heavy, dark vibe.
Yeah. Okay.
Haven't even the name Mastodon in so many years, but that's it.
I remember when Blood and Thunder came out. And that riff, you just hear that riff. Even if you don't know Mastodon, you never heard this, like, and as soon as the drummer, it starts, everybody headbangs. Like, it's like the motion to it. So that's funny you say punk, because I honestly, that wouldn't have been my first thought not only looking at you, but just seeing how you play. Like, it just seems like you would be to your core, like metal from the the roots.
When I was 8 to 10, dude, it was Maiden, it was Metallica, it was Priest.
Yeah.
Like I've got a deep love for old metal. Like one of my like all-time favorite songs is still Number of the Beast. And I can thank Tony Hawk Pro Skater Underground. Pro Skater Underground. Those are two different games.
Yeah.
Pro Skater 4, dude. The soundtrack on that game is just so immaculate.
Yes, absolutely. Julia Watt said, "That's my boyfriend." So everybody knows who.
Hey, little miss, how you doing?
Which one? Which one is
me.
it? Oh, there you go. There he is. That's your boyfriend.
Happily taken. Very happily taken.
Jimmy, back there. What are your influences? Where'd you come from here?
I came from classic rock.
Classic rock?
Yeah, my dad played guitar, and his favorite band was Journey, and that was the first band he ever showed me. I was 3, and he brought home a live DVD of them playing in Vegas. And I was like, "What you got there, Dad?" And he was like, "Music." And I was like, "Okay." So he sat me down and put it in, and it's showing all like the lasers. Like bands always have cool intros before they go on stage. So like my little 3-year-old brain's just glued at the TV, and they started playing Separate Ways. And from then on, he would show me Ozzy, Zeppelin, and he would quiz me on the members of the bands, who they were, like what they played and everything.
Who's Tony Iommi?
Tony Iommi is Ozzy Osbourne's solo career guitarist. I'm just kidding.
He's like, no.
I had to troll him.
So do you bring that? Are you bringing classic rock elements into your drum? Is it like
Listen to his hi-hats.
the hi hats? Oh.
Yeah. I like to bring a lot of classic rock on drums. A lot of it comes from the blues.
Mm-hmm.
I like to throw a little bit of jazz in there, as much as you can, playing metal, the type of music we do. Like dancing on the ride during songs like When Wings Sprout Too Early, stuff like that.
Tell him your favorite drummer.
Well, my favorite drummer, that's hard because it changes all the time. But my favorite drummer would probably be the Rev from Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, fantastic.
When I was like 12 or 13, I got shown them so shortly after he died. And like I was just blown away by that drumming because like luckily my transition with like Ozzy and Led Zeppelin, Avenged Sevenfold wasn't too big of a jump from the classic rock.
I started pouring in the heavy stuff.
Yeah, I started deep diving into Avenged. That became my favorite band because of the Rev for a minute. Their first album, Sounding the Seventh Trumpet, is still my favorite one drum-wise to listen to. Especially because he was
for a remaster for years.
He was a teenager and he sat down and played that whole album in one take, and that's like my favorite.
What were we, like nuts. 14 when I finally sat you down and showed you Stand Up and Scream?
Yeah. Well, actually, back to Journey, the first Asking Alexandria song I ever heard was a Journey cover.
Oh, really?
They covered Separate Ways, and I was like, let's see what this is about.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then he came to me like being like kind of upset about it, and I was like, "Hold on, have you listened to their actual music?"
I heard A Prophecy next, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh.
Because I like the heavy stuff too. My mom would play Your Betrayal by Bullet for My Valentine loud as shit on car rides, and that was the first really, really heavy song that I ever heard. I was like, "Whoa!"
There we go.
Hell yeah!
Fantastic. All right, Steven.
My mom.
Oh, he was like, Jason's like, I'll talk to. Nope, I'll stop. No, I'm talking. No, I'll stop.
You want to get a second?
Did I cut out?
That'll be nice.
No, you were. It's just that's the only problem with like internet stuff is like it's hard to see when you're about to talk. Like I could see when somebody's talking and then they're about to stop, and I go, "Oh, here's my turn." But Jason's like, "You can't see my face."
I'm
a P tuber. I'm a PNG tuber. Look at him go. But Steven, tell me where are your influences? What did you kind of grow up listening to that made you who you are?
I was raised by a single mom, so a lot of my early music influences was actually R&B.
R&B?
Yeah. Yeah, my mom would listen to Mario. She'd listen to Nelly. She'd listen to like Usher.
That's what mom listens to?
Yeah.
What?
It was that and hair metal. She loves Poison.
PJ learned something new today.
I did too. I didn't know my listen to that stuff.
That's what I would have expected. It was like Wasp or like Poison or like GNR.
No, her main thing is R&B. Good old R&B.
That's wild.
So I grew up with that for a long time. I didn't mind the music, but like back then I was a young kid. I didn't really care too much for music.
Yeah.
And my mom randomly one day put in a CD. It was the summer of 2007. I was sitting in her giant box fucking van, and I heard Bodies by Drowning Pool.
Oh.
And when
Bodies and
that moment he came in, my brain fucking exploded. like immediately. And she ended up. She had a CD acquired by Magical Ways that had different bands on it.
LimeWire.
Yes, we'll go with
It
that.
wasn't illegal. It wasn't illegal.
No.
Your mom's a pirate.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get my mom arrested.
Oh, no.
But so she just did like a rock mix. I don't know what exactly spawned it on her or what caused it, but the first ever song I heard was Bodies by Drowning Pool. And then she played 10,000 Fists by Disturbed.
Okay.
And then following that was In the End by Linkin Park. And Linkin Park was the one that, like, the metal bug had gotten inside of me.
Yeah.
That was the one where its roots or its fangs got sunk into me.
The fire was...
Yeah.
That happened to me with One Step Closer, dude. I love that song so much.
Fantastic.
So I went on for, like, years and years, like, knowing about rock bands, and I'd listen to a lot of 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin, Three Doors Down. And my mom started getting into like that style of rock music as well. We'd listen to Creed. I know all the Creed songs.
There we go.
All of them. And then
Arms wide open. Yeah.
I made some friends with some people in middle school, and I was that type of kid. Like I hung out with like the weirdos, the outcasts, like the not really sociable people. I didn't hang out with the preps.
Yeah.
I was chill with them. Don't get me wrong. And I was the same way with like a lot of the athletes and I don't want to be rude, but like the thugs or whatever you want to call those people.
Yeah, kids
the
like
troublemakers.
The trouble. Delinquents.
Right, like
these delinquents out here.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Not in my suburban neighborhood. Anyways. So, yeah. So I hung out with a lot of those kids, and I met these two guys, Dylan Marusa and Noah Blasi. And they were really big into a couple different bands, but the first couple that I'd really heard was Falling in Reverse.
Okay.
I hate it to this day. I've always hated this band. I've never fucking liked them. Blood on the Dance Floor.
Blood on the dance floor.
Yeah, Metro Station.
He's like, I always hated falling in reverse. Fuck those guys.
No, definitely not. Blood on the Dance Floor. I never liked them. I always had this weird vibe, and their music was weird. They got me into Ghost Town. Not a lot of people really know about that.
Oh, dude, I love Ghost Town.
You were playing that in the car on the way here.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah. And I started hearing like this heavier style of music. I mean, granted,
dubstep breakdowns went heavy.
yeah, Escape the Fate, stuff like that. And eventually I got shown Attack Attack, and I was like, okay, now I'm starting to get into this. I got into a couple different other bands, like of Mice and Men and stuff like that. Noah was a massive of Mice and Men fan. So I heard like Second and Sebring, and I was like, this style of music's fucking, what's up? And
And then he started screaming to it at a lunch table.
the one that got me really going was Stand Up and Scream by Asking Alexandria. I was super late to that party. Like, this was like 2013, 2012.
Yeah, he was.
When I heard it for the first time. And immediately it was like night and day. I just like, I heard it. I heard the chuggy breakdowns. I heard the crabcore. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I love it.
Yeah.
And I listened to that album on repeat. I know every song start to finish. When we first started together, the three bands that we covered was 3 Days Grace, Avenged Sevenfold, and Asking Alexandria.
Good spread.
Yeah. And we were literally sitting inside a garage with a fucking, like, the most hodgepodge fucking setup known to fucking man.
Dude, I'm so sad I lost that teddy bear. I had a teddy bear, like, noosed from the ceiling with a bike brake, and his name was Oscar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome.
But, it's sorry, I don't mean, I'll shut up, I promise.
Go ahead. See, this show's about you guys, not about me.
It's a
I got my
podcast.
own.
It's
Yeah,
a
I got.
podcast,
I
bro.
know,
It's
but
what
you
we're
were about to say
supposed
so. I'm
be
not
doing.
trying to
Well,
be
no, I
rude.
didn't want to leave out Harley. I want to hear what Harley's influences are too. You know what I mean? He's like, I brought these guys that I want to talk to. He's like,
the last bit that I'll say for sure. The music taste has definitely changed since then. Unfortunately, my love for Asking Alexandria has completely fallen out. Like, I don't
falling out.
Oh yeah, I don't like the Danny and the new sound that they have nowadays. I'm not a fan of. I'm really not.
I'm also not big on their newer stuff, but I'm
it's
not
also-
going to stop playing Stand Up and Scream.
It's
to
very-
Death and Destiny.
Asking Imagine Alexandria Dragons.
Hell yeah.
I want to just shout this out because Zachary's in the chat and he's like, he's trying to. I was gonna say, hey everybody, Zachary's in the chat, but you can't interrupt him, Zachary.
What up,
You
sister?
gotta know how to do this.
What up, Zach?
We got Zachary in the chat, a natural. Those natty daddies out there. Thank you, Zachary. His name is Zacharoni on YouTube. Zacharoni.
Very
Ooh.
fitting.
Very
Zachariah.
nice. He said his grandma was there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she's
his
with us
grandma
in spirit always.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh, his poor grandma, because he's always saying the craziest shit at his shows about his
She's
grandma
seen a
or
lot,
his
bro.
mom. Or I was just like, oh
That lady's been
no.
through it, man. The
Oh,
Lord
boy.
goes deep on grandma.
Oh boy.
Give your grandma my number, bro.
Oh no, PJ, don't
no.
contribute to it.
But yeah, so nowadays my biggest influences, and I love these bands to death. My biggest influence is Whitechapel. Phil Bozeman is like my god. Like that dude is a monster.
I feel like when the Saw is the Law came out, you listened to it on repeat for like 6 months.
Yeah,
Phil
I did.
Bozeman's my go-to comparison for Steven's lows whenever somebody asks who hasn't
He's-
heard him yet.
Yeah, those fucking lows that I get,
Yeah.
straight from Phil Bozeman. I spent hours and hours and hours and hours listening to it, and I literally spent like 6 to 8 hours sessions just sitting there blowing my voice out, trying to copy his sound. And it was rough for a little bit because I definitely will admit when I didn't know what I was doing at first, and it was like bad, and I realized I had to get better technique, and that's why my love for Andy Cizek vocal covers. There's another gentleman on YouTube. He does like power metal covers. Pelas, I think is his name. He's got like long brown hair. Pelek. He does power metal covers, and like those guys did extensive videos on like, hey, you're trying to be a vocalist.
Yeah.
Watch this. Especially Vokil. Vokil was the one dude. He's a Swedish guy, I want to say, and he's the one that got me the Phil Bozeman tone. And then I listened to Chelsea Grin, and I heard the highs, and I was like, dude, I gotta get those.
You got the lows, you got the highs,
Yep.
you got to like.
And then I listened to Lorna Shore, and I heard that fucking, that breakdown with the fucking tunnel vocal, and I was like, all right, yeah, that sounds like the gates of hell is opening. How do I get that? And that's
He's just absorbing. He's like, I'm taking from everything.
honestly, that's what it is as a vocalist, man. It's the same thing as being a guitarist and a drummer. Like, you get influences from people, and like, it's hard because you want to be original, right? But the problem is you can't sit there and say, I made this. Genuinely, for someone to say that they made something,
Yeah.
there's always another person that did it, 10 years ago prior.
Yeah.
And who knows who that person got that influence from. So it's really difficult to sit there and say, like, what it is. But
Even when you're not trying, even when you're not like, oh, I want something in this style, you're doing something that you think is free flowing, but that has made you. All those things that you've listened to, they're in you. It's part of your bloodstream. So it's like, it's just a part of who you are,
We are a collection of our experiences.
yeah.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. I feel like a sack of shit for being like, yeah, I stole all of my good vocals from everyone else. But I throw as much love and respect as I can out to those guys because genuinely they made me the person I am today. And
There you go.
if I ever get the chance to play with Whitechapel, it would be like my I made it moment. for
There
sure.
you go. Okay, I love that because I was just talking about to our band about I made it moment. I think everybody needs to have like an idea of like when you can say, because if you don't have a goal, it's like you need something ahead of you to say like, okay, we're gonna strive for this, and that way when we get that, we can go success. The grind was worth it. We put in the work. We have made it. So I like that. Whitechapel. I'm just gonna start writing Whitechapel all the time. Like, hey, I'll try to get them on the show. I'm like, I had this band get the Gatling. They said that they want to be with you. They're like, oh, break them on or whatever. And
Dude,
then boom.
imagine you actually got a chance to meet them and like you got to play this clip as like reference. That'd be crazy.
Hell yeah,
Meta
dude.
full circle moment.
I would literally void my bowels at that moment.
Oh no, void them. They're gone. Zachary said he will hook you up with his mother. You got to DM him. Oh no.
God.
Thank you,
So
Zachy-san.
Harley, where is your influences? So first of all, how did you get in contact with these guys? How did you get a part of this? And where did you come from in your music?
Oh boy.
So,
the Lord's about to go crazy on this.
well, I originally started, my dad worked on vehicles, so I listened to what everyone's calling it dad rock now. Like, started off with Nickelback, Godsmack, stuff like that. And then,
Can we stop the Nickelback hate, by the way?
yeah,
Everybody?
seriously.
They're overplayed, yeah, but they're still a great band.
If you hate
Yeah.
Nickelback,
They do
you're
a good
lying
job.
San
anyway.
Quentin
That's right.
stays
Know
on
the
where it
words
plays,
to
man.
At least one of their songs.
San Quentin goes hard.
But I listened to that for a while. Then my one brother, he got me into kind of more of the rap music and stuff.
Mm.
And then during high school, I met Steven through a mutual friend of ours in a science class of all places.
Yep.
And so me, him, and that friend, we would sit right in front of the teacher at one table. We didn't pay attention whatsoever in his
Oh, yeah.
class. I didn't need to. I knew what I was doing. That's the only subject I never had to study for.
If I paid attention in class, I don't think we'd be here.
This is my only shot, man.
But
only thing I got going.
I met him that way, and then I started hanging out with him. Got to meet. I think that's when I eventually met James later on after high school, and I don't even remember how I met PJ. I think that was either through.
I was friends with Haley.
I gotta pull out.
Yeah,
something
he was friends with
hilarious
my
real quick.
sister.
You gotta pull out something hilarious. Okay.
So I met
we
him.
actually worked at the same factory briefly, and
Yup.
we had our
God.
orientation on
Yeah.
the same day.
Yeah.
And when they took the picture, they were standing so far back that he was in the ID photo with me.
Let me pass it. So
what?
Yeah,
Pass
pass
that
it,
around,
pass it,
pass
and I
it
can get
around
it to the front here. Let me show you guys this ID here.
Yep.
Let's get this going here.
There's
on
me
the
wearing
night shift,
he's
so
in
I
the
was very
same
tired
shirt
in that
right
the
photo.
now,
same shirt I
too.
got under the hoodie.
What?
I went in. I went back there after I did some landscaping. I've
Oh,
done
word.
work
Look how
all over
tired
the
I am.
place.
How
How
was on
long ago
midnight.
was this photo?
shit.
2023,
Yeah.
June.
2 years. He looks the exact same. Look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, once I
You
got
look completely different though,
Oh,
Jimmy.
dude, I look
Oh, yeah.
like I'm half
James
asleep
is a-
in that photo. I can't
James
get
is a
over it.
skinwalker.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
perfect.
I'm so fucking mad at him because this dude like cuts his hair and like reinvents himself, and then it's like it's fine because like if it doesn't look good, like this man shaved his fucking head when we were like all in a group chat together, like in a video chat, and it grew back in like 4 months. Meanwhile, if I do that, like 4 months time for me is like I get like a couple inches. This dude, it's like done.
Well, my favorite video games are ones where you get to create your own characters and do stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna do that with myself in real life too.
Yeah.
just
So wait, why don't you just play the bass?
I
Why don't you just learn the bass?
I don't.
You've been
do,
with him this whole time.
I don't do instruments, and I can't do all the lights and pyrotechnics that come with the shows. And
Pyrotechnics.
What
How
happens if
big
you
do
just
think we
blindfolded
are?
yourself and you just learn to play without sight,
Dude, that'd
like
be flattered.
Daredevil?
You could be like fucking Lee Sin, like you could just be this like blinded.
That's
dude.
sick,
Blind
bro. They'd be
monk.
like, they got the blind bassist.
Kenshi, get the
Kenshi,
Gatling.
thank you. Yeah.
But and on top of that, for me, it's like Steven said, like my grandparents were lucky every year to even get me on a camera to get family photos.
Really?
So, I'm not a super social person. I mean,
And every show I go to, I bring a camera.
just
Look
what
at 'em
Heck yeah.
now.
a week ago I started.
on the
I hit
internet.
Steven up to go visit him and my third mom because I had 4 over my life, so I got my mom, my brother's ma, his ma, and then I had one mother pass away sadly.
Sorry to hear that.
I want to say about 4 years ago or so,
Yeah.
but
My mom adopts like literally everyone. That's
Yeah.
That's
one of my.
I
biggest
used to
things as
live at
well.
his house in the summertime.
Yeah.
Nice.
I lived on the north end. He lived.
Yeah, I was always really good at
Downtown.
like icebreakers and stuff, so I was always good just making friends with the quiet kids, and I was the one person that they could like open up to and be themselves, and like it was like that's how I made a lot of my connections with people in high school. And then they'd come over to my house, and my mom like they'd be like, "Oh, hi, Mrs. Thrall," and my mom would give them the death glare and be like, "No, you're this is mom now. I'm mom.
Yep.
I'm your mother
You
now.
call me anything but mom." And we're
Yeah.
like,
She's like, look at me.
her rules in the house was she was called mom always, and no matter what you did, you always left that house fed. You
Yep.
never leave her house hungry. That was
She
her
wouldn't
two
let me
rules.
leave until I
Dude,
ate a couple of
remember
times, and I'm
the
just
first
like,
time
really.
I went over there, and like I've always been a big dude. She was like, "You want a coney dog?" And I was like, "Yeah, two will work." She came back and she gave me 6 of them motherfuckers.
Coney dog.
At least 40 pounds of PJ is responsible for my mom.
Oh no!
Swear
Wow.
to God.
I think the first
Yeah,
thing I
it
ever
has
ate
to
at your
be.
house was burgers, and they were the biggest patties I
yeah.
had ever eaten in my life. on
My
a
mom
burger.
makes
I
for a
was like, oh
fucking
my
army,
God.
dude.
Dang.
Oh yeah.
But
Does your mom know how to cook a small meal?
no, she really doesn't.
I was about to say.
No.
No, she really
She don't-
doesn't. I mean, she grew up having, like, she knew how to cook small meals back then, but like I have 3 younger brothers, so there's 4 boys, and there's like a year or 2 difference between us. So when we were all in our teens, she had to cook for an army because we were all high metabolism kids. So like we could pack food. Like I could easily myself eat 2 plates, wouldn't gain a single freaking pound.
See, I wish I had that metabolism.
Yeah.
There's a burger story about Al too.
Oh man, Jason used to cook for me. I used to live with him. I have so many stories about where I used to live.
I can
but
relate.
but I was living at this guy's house because he was like, "Oh, I'm about to make the biggest burgers ever." He had these massive ass patties.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a 2-inch.
That's awesome.
And you know, he goes there and he cooks it. And see, that's the thing about me that I'm sure you guys notice
I'm
at some
coming
point.
to
It's like
Texas right now.
he's a nice guy. You know, I'm laid back, and I don't like to complain too much. So this boy, he works hard in the kitchen, makes burgers for us, and then he brings it to me, and he's like, "Here you go." I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be fantastic." I take a bite, and it's like practically raw in the middle. I mean, I saw blood in it, and you know, ground beef, you gotta cook it all the way. This ain't steak. People with the steak, they're like, "Oh,
Mind
raw's
you,
the
I'm-
way to be."
Nope.
So it doesn't make me look like an asshole. I was cooking mine when I brought him his. When I got mine back to the table and I saw the middle was red, I'm like, "What are you doing,
I'm
brother?"
sitting here trying to eat it. I'm like, "Oh, pretty good."
Like that's not supposed to done. Like what the hell, dude? I could like, what
That's
are
still
you
a good
doing,
burger.
bro?
I don't know what else talking
Maybe
about.
if there's still blood, it's a little.
No,
It's not
ground
it's
beef.
actually-
You
if
gotta
it's
cook.
warm,
Hold
I don't
on,
give a
hold
fuck.
on. It's not even blood, actually.
Oh, what is it? Hemoglobin.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the
actually-
thing. It's a psychological
Hemorrhoid.
thing,
Yeah,
right? You're
everyone
like,
always thinks it's blood, but it's not, and it's actually good for you
it's good for you.
to an extent. If
Just
the meat itself is cooked,
I just need the hemoglobin. Fantastic. Kayla Hutchinson said that you have a great mom out there. She wanted to make sure to shout that out.
Yeah, Kayla's my cousin. So.
Oh, there we go. Shout out, Kayla. Thank you for joining
Hold on, can
us.
somebody send me a link so I can send it out?
I tagged Get the
Samesies.
Gatling,
Yeah.
so if you go to your Facebook, and I tagged Steven as well. I don't think I have all of you guys
Yeah,
on
because
Facebook.
I'm cool.
but,
No.
Fuck you guys.
maybe if you guys out there know PJ, then share it with him, and he could share it with other people.
And in that moment, PJ got 17 messages.
Everybody start sharing it. Go share, share,
so
share,
many
share.
notifications he can't
Share,
open his
share,
phone
share.
for the night.
Don't jinx me. My phone is trash.
Exactly.
That bitch would blow up. Just Nokia moment.
Zachary's late to the party. Jason is my co-host, so every week I do this show. It's called Getting Ready, Backstage with Al and Jay, and I've known Jay since 9th grade in high school. I love how we're like, oh, we have met in
Yep.
high school. High school could be the greatest years, or they could be the shittiest years. I had a little bit
Or
of
they
both.
can be both.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I had it kind of
Yeah,
like
it was
both.
definitely both.
But no, I've known this guy for like 25 years now, and so that's where I was like, I talked to him. You know, I lived in Texas for a year and a half. And so I lived with him when I moved down there because he's from Michigan. Obviously, that's where we met. He moved down to Texas first for a few years, and then I had an opportunity to come down to Texas. I was like, hey, dude, let's get together because he was down in Houston, but I was up in Dallas. And so he came up to work with the same guy because I needed a store manager, and Jason has a lot of our first job was Little Caesars.
Oh, God.
Little Caesars, and so we grew up in the Little Caesars system, starting from crew members and just kind of worked our way up. So when I went down to Texas, I had a bunch of stores that I was running, and I was like, man, I need somebody good because we had this one store that was like the creme de la creme that was making a ton of money. I was like, I need somebody that's not going to fuck this up. And I could only trust that one dude. So I was like, hey, Jason, come on up. So then I moved in with him. And then that year, I was recording like everything we did. We would just like sit on the porch. We'd be smoking, or, you know, we actually made this sick gravity bong. It was fantastic. You know, and a chopped up like a Powerade bottle and like a
Oh,
1
yeah.
liter jug. Fantastic times. And we would, that was the idea, was like, man, we should do a show. And it, just years go by, we're recording, we're just doing everything, we just never post it. And I'm like, fine, bro. So when I moved back to Michigan, we would meet once a week, Tuesday nights, and we would just be shooting the shit for a couple hours. Like literally we could talk nonstop for hours. I was like, bro, we just need to hit record, or in this case stream, because I think there's something to be, I love the live setting. I love that there's people in the chat and everybody's like vibing, and then you guys can like comment and ask us questions. Like honestly, guys, I forgot to tell you, like if you have a question for Get the Gatling, put it in the chat, and then I'll obviously ask them, so that way you can get to know.
I was just gonna
I'll
say
lie
we'll
about all
lie
the
right
answers.
to your face.
They'll lie. Except for Zachary's going to say some weird ass shit. Zachary, you get one question.
Oh, dude, you can guarantee.
Yeah,
That's
the
the
only
only
person
true
you got to
thing.
worry about answering stuff here is PJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
PJ's on notice here.
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
There we go.
I can, but I'd be lying.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I think it's time for another song, gentlemen. So what's this next song going to be?
According to the set list.
He's butting out the set list there.
One of our favorites.
Uh-oh.
I wanted to eat out, but not at a diner.
Is that the name of the song?
That is the
I
name of the
wanted
song.
to eat out, but not at a diner.
Yeah.
All right. What is the story with this song?
So, one of my So I
Oh,
was
bring that mic a
watching-
little closer to you, PJ, just so the people. It's for the people.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Might as well just tell him to deep throat it. That
Oh,
point.
no.
Blow a raspberry. Blow a raspberry on the microphone.
So I was actually watching American Legion X one day, and one of the quotes was about the main character, and I'm pretty sure I don't have it exactly right, but it was something like, he made you come in a Taco Bell parking lot and what, now you think you're in love? And that was supposed to be the original name of the song.
Yep.
But then we got worried Taco
He was
Bell would-
immediately outvoted on that.
Yeah.
no, actually, I wasn't
We-
outvoted. It was that for a while.
We nicknamed it Taco Bell.
Until we went public with it.
Yeah. When we went public.
It was that in the practice room.
But then I wanted to kind of keep the same vibe,
Yeah.
but we all have a love for like crazy emo band song names.
And this song is
Heck yeah.
extremely emo. Even the
Yeah.
lyrics itself are.
This song is more of an
So-
emo style. Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I can't say it's like Hawthorne Heights level emo, but it's very similar to like.
Got my wrist in black, my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Heck yeah.
But we wanted to keep with that vibe. Like one of my favorite songs. I used to have a best friend, but now I have an STD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very
Love-
nice.
Love that
Okay.
song, Asking
Yeah.
Alexandria, off their first album. And I wanted to do something kind of like that. So we were spitballing, and was I the one that came up with the actual name?
It was between you and James.
Yeah.
That one I can fully
Think
say
that
I did
one
not
was
come up
me.
with.
He's like, I'm writing this off.
Because
I
I did not want the Taco Bell one.
Yeah.
James ready to
That
go
was a
with
little
it if we
extreme.
couldn't come up with
Wesson,
anything else.
Smith and Wesson, that song that you guys are going to see later, that one took us a long time, and James is still kind of on the fence about keeping it. Like once, if we ever became like more mainstream.
No,
Because
Smith
just-
and Wesson I love. I love the name and everything about
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I mean, just like because of the potential lawsuit from using the name
From
like,
Smith and Wesson.
Oh,
Because
No,
Because they might have
actually-
problems
or
with
that
that.
was
we-
me.
Oh, was that
Smith
you?
and Wesson was me because
was Peach.
I don't know if anybody keeps up with like political news or like meme fuel, but Ben Shapiro posted something about a pizza delivery guy. Did the pizza guy get shot or did the pizza guy shoot somebody?
I think he
I'm
shot
pretty
someone.
sure he shot someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, these guys know what story I'm
Yeah.
talking about. But
That makes way more-
literally, the title of his post was "It's not delivery, it's Smith and Wesson," and I'm like,
Yep.
I'm taking that.
Yoink.
So we got to worry
That
about
is mine
DiGiorno,
now.
Ben Shapiro, and Smith and Wesson.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's all right. The controversy will just get a little bit more
Well,
engagement.
I don't think
for
you
it.
got to really worry about Ben Shapiro considering he went on and did a rap himself.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
I'm sure he'll take
did.
all the publicity he can
He
get.
did. That was a wild rap.
Oh
too.
yeah.
It wasn't the
Him
greatest.
and Tom
but
McDonald.
It was wild.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Props to
me and James pretty much named the song. I wanted to eat out, but not at a diner.
So for
And this is the one like you'll actually hear where my guitar is influenced by like bands like AFI, MXPX,
Oh, okay.
stuff like
so
that.
a lot of
Love
the
MXPX.
writing process for us, like, I would write all of the lyrics, and they were finalized by James and I. James and I would look at the lyrics, and we'd go, "Okay, I like this part."
I
but
had
this
part in it too.
You had part in it, but I'm gonna
He's
be
like,
honest,
I wrote a word or two.
This dude had a lot of it, and like James is very quick. Like he's very honest, and he's like, "Dude, I didn't like that part," or I think we need to say this, or we should say this instead. So a lot of it was us just sitting down and ironing out a lot of it, but
Yeah.
a lot of the lyrics was from just spinning off the top of our heads, like what we could think of.
Yeah.
And it was an emo sounding song, so that was
Yeah.
like the thought about writing the lyrics
Yeah,
for this one.
This one has a very like the story behind it. This one actually has a pretty like semi-cohesive story, not based on any personal events. It's completely fictional. I will fully admit that.
There you go.
Just because that's gonna get messy.
Oh, no.
No, what are you talking about? I did drive my car off a mountainside.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
How are you still here?
yeah. But
Oh no.
I heard
He's not supposed to be.
I heard the emo influence, and I was like, dude, I gotta write the edgiest fucking song possible with like the most angst and just feelings. So
Okay. Awesome.
I wanted to get out, but not at a diner. It was made.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me get this going here. And get the lights.
Do it.
See you in a second, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Lasers a go.
Laser beams.
Um, lost my fog button. It's absolutely critical. Without fogs, you can't see the lasers. Look at this guy go.
Looking at the comments right now.
Cheyenne wants to know where she can find your music.
Everywhere for the most part.
So you guys are on all the streaming platforms.
Yep.
Get the
DistroKid
Gatling.
plugged us up.
We
and
are
we're
on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, and whatever else DistroKid hooked us up with.
Sling, Amazon Music.
we followed the main popular train of everyone does DistroKid, so we will too. Yes. Engulf me.
All right, get the Gatling. I wanted to eat, but not at a diner. Hit it, fellas.
Otherwise, let's say goodbye. Secret walls from a lover. Remain silent as we climb up this mountain side. I can hear your voice, and it never fades. Distant memories and now remain. What can I do? What could be said? Now secrets destroyed, all that remain. Oh my life, I've been trying to hide from these demons, but they won't cease to subside. They just won't fucking. We'll find a place that make me up. Close your eyes and think I'm wrong. Am I part of the time of your eyes?
Whoa, fantastic. I didn't get the cheering button ready in time, but I'm cheering. I'm cheering back here. Yes, very good. Very good. The song is over. Zachary was like, I've added reverb in the middle of that. I forgot at the beginning to do that because I have them on the same mics that they're talking. And if they were talking with reverb, it sounds weird.
Absolutely.
See? Do you see the reverb now, Zachary? Say something,
Bubble boy.
There it is. Test the next one, Zachary. Yeah, there you go. Fantastic. Oh, this is good stuff. So are they able to hear that song on the you've recorded
Yes,
that one that's
that
on
one,
streaming?
That one
Yes.
is on streaming services.
Yep.
So are the so is the first two we played.
Yeah. So I realized I don't want to go segue too much into like another song, but the song prior, Wings. I forgot to talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it back.
The song for Wings, the influence and like the general vibe for that one, the reason why I started taking like the band a little more serious and like really wanted to move forward with my life. I had a buddy, his name was Jake Hartman. I moved into my first ever apartment, and my mom had also bought her first ever house, and I was taking
Just dropped both of my phones.
I was taking a bunch of like heavy furniture outside, and like it was just me. Like at the timing, my wife at the timing, now ex-wife, was super pregnant, so I was basically just by myself. And this dude saw me across the street. He was one of the neighbors, and he just walked up and he's like, "Hey, man, you need some help?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'd fucking take that. I'd love that to pieces." So he came over, and complete random fucking stranger I'd never met before, never had a conversation with, just took like 8 hours out of his day just to help me move. And I got closer with him over time. Jake was like the first person when I turned 21 to take me out legally drinking. Big emphasis on the legally drinking part. And I remembered back in January that of the following year that I had met him, I got a call from my mom at like 3 in the afternoon, and she told me that Jake had actually taken his own life.
Oh no.
Yeah, Jake was he was a bigger guy. He was about 350 pounds. He was a big fucking dude. He was tall, so it didn't look like that bad. But yeah, he had taken his life, and it put me into like a state of shock, because that was the first time that I had lost someone around my age that was close to me. Like, I've definitely dealt with loss a lot in my life, but that was the first time where I was like, this guy was literally a year younger than me, and he's not here anymore. And I was literally going to message him that day and ask him to go out to Dave & Buster's, because I had a buddy from Texas that was visiting. And after all that had happened and transpired, it kind of stuck with me, and that's the biggest reason why when PJ asked me, "Hey, do you want to do music again?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, dude, 100%." And the lyrics for Wings, a lot of it is just me basically venting the feeling of losing someone and not really knowing how to process it, how to deal with it, how to, it's someone that's gone. You can't get that back.
Yeah.
And that's why the song is literally called "When Wings Sprout Too Early." It's because like, it wasn't his time at all. And unfortunately, like, that just was the way that it happened, and there was nothing really that we could do to change that. So.
I've also had a crazy close relation with death, like, my entire life. Like, my parents never shielded me from it. Like, I was very well aware of how losing people went, because my dad was really close with his father, and he passed when I was 5, and then 2 years later I had a older cousin who had cerebral palsy. She passed when she was 13. That funeral I wasn't allowed to go to because it was a younger person's funeral, so my mom did shield me from that. And then literally it was pretty fine from then, but then my parents split, and then my mom got with somebody, and he treated her really well, but then we lost him, and that was probably my first close death, was my stepdad Dre. And then a year and a half later, I lost my father.
Damn.
Yeah, I was actually there for that when I woke up in the middle of the night, and I'm pretty sure it was an OD. And then the week later, I lost my grandfather. So, like,
wow.
I've been to more funerals than I can count. And then recently, Steven was saying he finally experienced losing someone close in his age. One of my really good friends I lost too. His name was Leonard, and that was like a day after one of our shows. But if it wasn't for being able to play music and focus in on that, that one really would have messed with me too. And then another friend, like a few months later, I lost too. So like, I'm no stranger to losing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song's kind of like our memorial piece for a lot of people that we've lost in our lives. I don't know if James wants to go into detail about his loss, because he's had probably like some of the most painful out of all of us.
Oh, well, yeah, I mentioned my dad earlier, who was a guitarist, very passionate music fan, very, very passionate, and he unfortunately passed away in a car accident in 2019, and that was really the moment I realized that, like, I wasn't a kid anymore, I would say, and that I really had to start taking life and every decision I make very seriously. And I really started looking at a lot of the things that he was into, like boxing. He was a gigantic boxing fan, and I started boxing like crazy. My grandfather too, who also, he just passed away last year.
We were at a band practice when he got the news about that.
Yes, yeah, we were. We were actually in the middle of practice when I got the phone call about that one. We were actually doing a drywall job together around the corner from the house, and I went to longboard over to that job to see if he was there working, and because my grandpa was the type who called both me and my uncle every single day.
Yeah.
Like he woke up and he called one of us, and one of us would sit and talk to him for a little bit. And I was working with him on the weekends at the time, working midnights at the factory that I showed earlier.
Yeah.
I got a little off track there. I'm sorry. But we got the news that he had passed away. I was longboarding there, and on the way back, I hit a rock and actually messed myself up horribly.
I don't think James has set
physically.
foot on a longboard or skateboard since.
No, I have not. And then I got home and received the news,
Yeah.
and it was just a really weird feeling. So like I'm actually scarred up on my elbow, so I have physical scars to remember that day as well. In a way, I guess that's what I was kind of leading into.
But that's awesome that you guys can take it, because I think that's the best part about being an artist, is to be able to take your feelings and your experiences and, you know, the people you've met, the things you went through, and to be able to put it out into the world and say, like, this is how I can convey my message.
We've also got another song directly tied to those experiences.
Oh, yeah.
So we have a song that we'll play later on tonight called "No I Dadn't," and nothing. Can
No,
be
I
fa-
didn't.
No,
Oh, I
Dadn't.
saw that on the street. I was streaming that earlier.
No, I Dadn't. Nothing could be farther from the truth. And originally we were going to name that song "Dead Dad Club."
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't around in my life for the first early 15 years of my life, and my stepdad Ed was, and he was the first guy to step up, and it was a very love-hate relationship. There was like a lot of fucking like mental and physical abuse that I dealt with that guy, and a lot of other just horrible things. He was the biggest example of like what not to be as a father, and really set that standard for me growing up, being like, okay, no, I'm not gonna scream at my kids because they're walking upstairs too loud. I'm not gonna fucking make my kids terrified for just having not being able to finish dinner, type things. And that sidetrack aside, we've all lost a father figure in the band, and No I Dadn't was like one of those songs where it was like that was really just us talking about like losing someone like that monumental in your life. And Wings is kind of like a love letter and a love note to everyone that we've lost on the way.
Are you going to be playing No I Didn't today?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, we are.
fantastic. Joey Mann said, proud of these boys.
Hey,
Thank you,
Joey?
Joey. We love you, homie.
Fantastic.
I love that man so much. All the mans, all love goes out to you guys. Joey.
Shout out to Colossus.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Colossus.
Yeah,
That's
go
another
listen,
band he's
go
a part
listen to
of.
Colossus.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys.
Not right now, though. After
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
They're
Stay
like,
here.
oh, I better leave. Go check out
Oh,
Colossus.
okay, yeah, no. That's a good point.
But
It's about us right now.
yeah, it's our time, our spotlight.
That's
My
right.
time is now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's just it's a love letter to everybody that we've lost, and it's just
Yeah.
those people, no matter how much it hurts and how much it sucks sometimes, they're going to live with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
They're forever going to impact you. Like they're always going to be a piece and part of you. Like
Yeah.
Jake was the whole reason I started and I wanted to take this seriously, because he told me all the time he'd see me do my covers, because I was doing covers before, like almost a year and a half before Get the Gatling started. And he'd see those covers and he'd be like, dude, you are way too good not to be using your talent. You need to be in a band. He's like, you need to be in a band. You need to be in a band. You need to be in a band. And I always like, it's like, I had the stage fright, and I was like, dude, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to get over that.
That was
I don't know if
another
I'm-
thought process of starting with open mics, because like it's in the middle of week on a
Yeah.
Wednesday on one of the slower bars in town.
Yeah.
It's like get up on the stage, build a presence, like know what it's like to perform for people.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like I've always wanted to do this, like since I was a kid. So like the stage fright, the shakes, I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's never something I've dealt with.
I didn't even know I really had it till I did choir.
It's all excitement. It translates over to excitement instead.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
I still get the jitters from time to time. Like,
Yeah.
Before we do like a big show, like we played and opened for, okay, we haven't technically opened for Attila, but we played the same show as Attila, Gideon, Until I Wake, and
I don't know if you.
It was like a multi-stage.
I don't
say
know if
we
you ever
opened.
been
Yeah.
to the Crowfoot, but like
Yeah.
yeah. We
Yeah.
played up in the Pike Room
Love
Yeah.
the pipe room.
so
Yeah.
the same day as the their About That Life.
We
tour.
open for Attila. I don't give a fuck.
Heck yeah, bro.
We open-
Stand on that.
We open for fucking Attila.
But yeah, and then we also
Our cameraman met Franz.
yeah we
Yes.
also opened for Josie Scott's Saliva, which I didn't realize was separated from Saliva. It was the original vocalist of Saliva,
But
Oh,
with a
okay.
different backing
with
band.
a different backing band. Their guitarist had passed away on tour, and they wanted to keep going and keep touring and like just move on past him. Josie did not. Josie wanted to take the time to grieve him, so he left the band.
Oh, right.
And the record label just got a new fucking vocalist and just kept pushing.
Damn.
So
As
when
record labels do.
yeah.
Yep.
And it was like, it was like this giant European tour or something like that. So like they straight up, they would not pull even for something like that severe and massive. But I will say Josie is probably one of the nicest fucking musicians I've ever met. Like big string musicians. Like I was wearing the Sleep Token shirt and I walked up to him. I have a photo somewhere on my phone. But I walked up to him and he immediately saw the Sleep Token shirt and he's like, I fucking love Sleep Token, man. And then he was like, you're one of the bands that played tonight, weren't you? And he's like, I can tell you look like a musician. He's like, I was sleeping in my RV or whatever it was that he was in. He's like, I wasn't able to see you guys, but he's like, but I bet you guys probably killed it. And I sat there for almost like 15 minutes. I felt like an asshole, but we literally just kept talking and talking and talking. It was so natural. And like that dude listened to you. It wasn't like, how bigger musicians were always like, like, oh yeah, nice to meet you, kid. Yeah, you can do it. Like Josie straight up was like, this is what you need to do. This is the secrets. He's like, you guys ever want to play a show with me again and you see I'm in town, hit me up. Let me know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not to retract credit from PJ from earlier when he said he got me into heavy music. He did get me into all the emo bands that were going on at that time.
Yeah, the post-hardcore.
But my introduction to heavy music was actually being a pro wrestling fan. Yeah. And Saliva and WWE. They did Batista's theme song, and they've done Click Click Boom for
Click Boom
pay-per-views. Yeah, they did that one.
Not to
I
mention
Walk Alone. Yep, that's
they did Hero for
Josie
Spider-Man
Scott.
2
Yep,
with Chad Kruger.
Yeah, what a hero can say.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that was a exciting one for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Morgan P said, "Look at my boys. Came so far from the outpost to this podcast. Hearts."
Absolutely.
That's my lady.
Now, have you guys have done a lot of shows, but do you have like, oh man, my favorite show of these last few years? Like, is there something that stands out?
My favorite was the one we were playing upstairs.
Yep.
At the
And,
Incredible
at the
turnout.
Crowfoot. Oh my lord.
Because all those people that showed
Oh
up
my
for
God.
Gideon and Attila, we were able to get just about all of them upstairs into the Pike Room and just pack it out for us.
So my favorite venue is the Sanctuary. I
Oh,
love the
mine
Sanctuary.
too, bro.
I love the Sanctuary.
Love that place.
We've only played there once, but unfortunately, like it's just because Sanctuary, you got to be a little more professional, be a little more rounded off for them, which is completely valid. But past that, definitely the Crowfoot. We had the perfect slot where no bands were playing.
Yeah,
There-
they were
it was,
in
like-
between bands downstairs on our time slot.
Yeah, like it would be like one band would be playing and they had
Yeah.
like the last like 5 minutes of their set, and the band upstairs, the local bands, would start. For us, it was like the moment we started and the moment we ended, there was nothing.
Oh, sick.
So our boy CJ, big shout out to him, CJ Turner. He walked out to the middle of this fucking room on the second balcony, put his hands over his fucking mouth, and screamed at the top of his lungs, "Yo, get the Gatlings playing in the Pike Room, bitches! Get your fucking asses in here and see a sick fucking band!" And he just kept screaming that at the top of
The
his lungs.
ultimate hype
Sorry,
man.
hype man.
Yeah.
The ultimate hype man.
Top of his fucking lungs. Did not give a fuck. And all these people just started flowing into the room because there was no bands playing. They were there for music anyways, and it was like either you take an elevator up or you do the stairs slightly, or there was people already on the second floor. And before we knew it, we're standing there on stage, and there's just a fucking crowd of like 50 to 60 to almost 70 fucking people in front of me. One of the biggest crowds we have ever played ever. I think the only other show that we've played, which is my second favorite show, is when we did MSC with Splinters.
Oh, dude.
Packed
MSC.
that boy too.
Such a small venue, too.
I love the dingy small venues. I love the venues where there's no stage. The vocalist is on the same
Oh,
floor
on
as
the
everyone
floor,
else. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why. I love that. I love those
My-
shows to pieces.
Like, my favorite show was probably the one we played upstairs during that Attila show, but my favorite exact moment was at our second MSE show, a benefit we did for one of our buddies.
Yeah.
The last song we usually play in our set list, Slaughter in Corridor 11, we got a pause that we normally take to try and, do the Wall of Death thing, like split down the middle before
Love
it
it.
kicks back in. My favorite moment, like, to this day, was we were in this little venue. We split the room, and I look up from my guitar, and I literally see the front door.
Yeah.
Because,
Split.
yeah, entirely split from, like, right in front of us to damn near the door. And I was like, okay, this is about to go insane.
Yeah.
And we finally came back in, and everybody ran towards each other. I literally felt the floor shake.
Damn.
And, like,
We have a
It's insane.
photo.
yeah.
We have a photo from that show, and it's like me like jumping up, and I'm like throwing my horns up or something like that, and it's just a fucking sea of people. We have one of our buddies, another CJ. He's got a fucking 2 beer cans in his hand.
Wow. In the same hand, he's
Yeah,
like double-handed.
They're like linked, and his like ring finger and his thumb is like wrapped around it. And like for the longest time, we called him CJ Toucan or CJ fucking 2 beer.
Oh, there you go.
And that's one of my favorite moments for sure. Like
Too bad his name ain't Sam.
Photo looked like a
Toucan Sam.
renaissance.
yeah,
Yeah.
toucans.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's for sure. The other thing is like that's the first ever mainstream, I guess you could say, band that we played with. And then Saliva was amazing as well. That was like, you know, I grew up listening to this dude's music. I literally watched the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, and your song played at the end of it.
Okay.
And then MSC was just every time we play a show there, it's always just this overwhelming love and support from the local community. Like Port Huron definitely does not have a big metal scene in that town, but when you put a show in that town and you give it time to spread word, the community comes out hard in Port Huron, dude.
Right now, we're taking a minute from shows to actually write and come out with some new music.
Yeah.
And like the first thing I want to do is book an at-home show.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Someone, Middleman2317. I don't know who you are. If you could tell me your name, I'd greatly appreciate it.
We need your real name.
Yeah. I just want to know who you are. So that he just said that we almost moshed into a glass counter at MSC. I was literally there is it's a clothing store that when shows get played, they clear out all of the clothing racks. It's brick walls, brick and mortar building.
The first time we played there, it was just set up like it normally did. The second time we came back, they prepared.
Yeah.
Like, it was moved way back. All the clothing racks were way out of the way.
And that sea of people, when they clashed, I saw a couple of our friends, like, straight up, like, thank God there was some people standing there guarding the glass case.
Yeah.
But there was someone that got slammed into and almost fell head back straight into a glass counter. And, like, it could have been massively.
That sounds fatal. It sounds like it could, glass.
Yeah.
Somebody's
funny
getting
enough,
decapitated.
Metal Man is Jared Smitty.
Hey,
That's
makes
the guy
so
that
much
almost
sense.
smashed his fucking head into the.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, but that's the thing. Like those shows, oh god, I love them so much. Like the intimate, like in your face shows. I've always really loved those. That energy and being able to be screaming lyrics and there's someone right there in front of you.
The closer you are, the better I feel.
Yeah, that really carries that rawness, and especially when you're playing pissed off songs.
Yeah.
And you can see people and the fucking like animal
You're
inside
like
their eyes.
fist away from them.
Yeah.
You're like spitting in their face.
Yeah.
Because that reminds me of a Converge show that I went to.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole thing was. Like he was practically in the crowd, and he was always sticking the mic in everybody's faces.
Yeah.
And my friend Dylan, he brought me to the show. I hadn't heard them up into that point, so I didn't know the words, but the energy's so crazy, and everybody's just going nuts in the pit or whatever. So he's sticking the microphone in my face. I'm just going, rah, 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 rah. I don't know what the words are, but that energy, bro.
That's my thing. Even
And
when
I'm also a metal kid, dude. The more rough the crowd is being with each
Yeah.
other, also the better I feel. Like
Yeah.
I want you to be right here,
Yeah.
but I want you to be moving into each other, pushing, shoving.
Yes.
Like I want to see you feeling what we're trying to portray.
Yeah.
Just having people in the crowd vibing in some way, even if you're just looking out and they're bobbing their head or something, like just something where you're like, okay, they're getting it, they're into this, is fantastic.
I'm not
it's
even
tough.
mad. I'm not even at shows where people are sitting. To be honest, dude.
Yeah.
I know there's some
long
musicians
as they're
out there.
looking.
Yeah, there's some musicians out there that like get so fucking pissed at people for just sitting. It's like, dude, they're still listening to me.
Yeah.
And those people sometimes, like, they probably been in the scene for a long fucking time. They've moshed a ton, and their body just can't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
They want to absorb everything that's going on too, probably.
Yeah,
And,
and
like,
that's
really
the other
get a
thing.
feel for it.
A lot of times, those people are the ones that will follow your band page. Those are the people that would share your music and come to another show. So what that they're not throwing their body on the line and like fucking throwing their spleen out.
Well, see, I can't even do that no more. See, I'd be going to shows too. I used to be in my 20s, moshing. Toxic Holocaust. I was going nuts, and it was crazy. Now, I the second time they came back, I was a little older. I'm a little tired. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, I'm grooving on the edge of the pit. I'm gonna let them kind of do their thing.
Yeah,
but-
last time we played together, me, James, and our buddy CJ, we heard you guys playing, and I started just pushing everybody.
Yeah. Fantastic. Zachary wants me to ask. He had so many questions, and I'm like, Zachary, what question?
Just
I-
ask him.
All of them.
Is
All of the
Chris
questions.
Benoit? Is it Benoit? Chris
Oh,
Benoit's
God.
theme? Is it a banger?
Yeah.
Chris Benoit's theme.
Dude.
What is Chris? I don't know that.
Certified bang.
The
Is
theme,
that
yes.
Saliva too? Is that who? No. Who made this?
No,
one?
He's,
I don't even know who
he's
who
a-
recorded that. Was that just like
I have no
musicians they
idea.
had type shit?
Yeah, he's a wrestler that
I
had a lot
apologize
of
for yawning.
a lot of
Dude, I love that riff so much.
yeah.
I'm a sucker for
He's a
pinch
wrestler that
harmonics,
had a
dude.
lot of like problems.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's a little
Uh-oh.
little controversial towards the end of his career.
Chris Benoit is a wrestler who killed his wife and son.
What? Zachary said,
And,
"Ask who he is," and
he
he's
was
there.
one
you
of
go.
the very first examples in pro wrestling, anyways, of like really severe CTE,
Yeah.
similar to like Aaron Hernandez and like stuff like that.
Oh boy. Zachary.
WWE
And
had
here we got Zachary making jokes about it.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Don't
He's like,
can-
"That's
don't
my
cancel
grandpa."
Zach or Natural Graffiti. They're the best.
the worst part about it is WWE was completely clueless about it. They just heard that he died. And they did a whole giant memorial service. And while it was on air, it got broke that he killed his wife and his son.
Damn.
Yeah.
And the look on Vince McMahon's face when he realized he is throwing a party in celebration for a murderer.
Oh yeah, he killed himself as well. Like I don't
Yeah.
know if I
What?
said that. Yeah, he
Yeah.
killed
Yeah.
his wife, his son.
This
and
story's
then
getting
himself.
crazier. Oh no.
Yeah,
We're all big fans of wrestling and MMA here.
there
at
are
Get the Gatling,
conspiracy
so we know.
theorists that try to say he didn't do it, but
Because it was two bullets to the back of his head.
No.
he hung himself on like a weighted cable machine. I actually don't know how. I don't know how he. I have no
Very
idea.
carefully, I
I
suspect.
spent a lot of time around weighted cable machines, and I have no idea how I'd be able to hang myself.
Zachary said with a Bowflex. What?
Oh, you know what?
That makes sense.
He probably. Sorry, this
Oh, boy,
conversation's
this-
going this way. I think,
This is
I think I
this is
found
all
out
your
how
fault,
we-
Zachary. This is all your fault.
This is how we became
No,
friends
no,
with Zach.
no.
This is how we became friends with Zach, though.
I
Zach,
think he might have put a whole bunch of weight on it,
yeah.
brought it down, and like had one of those like big handles
Yeah.
that would have fit around his neck, and then it
You,
just,
you'd
like,
have
yanked,
had to
pulled
do
him
it
out.
like
That
that.
sounds very
Fuck.
creative, whatever
That-
the hell.
that's
you
how
did.
we
Either that or
became-
lean into it.
He thought about it for a minute.
Oh boy.
Maybe that's why it was the
I don't
next.
think there was.
Maybe that's
much
why
thinking
he did
going
it.
on at all.
Maybe that's why it was
during that whole
like
scenario.
the next day because
Yeah.
it took him that long to figure it out.
Was it the next day that he did it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was. You're right.
Yeah, but
Didn't he place Bibles by both of them?
Damn, this guy
I'm
went
not sure.
crazy.
I don't know if that's true or not. I can't be quoted. on
that's the
that.
thing
I've heard
about
that, though.
Chris, though. Like,
Yeah.
he's still talked about to this day because it's one of the wildest fucking stories. And
Wild,
he was
bro.
he was almost the face of WWE too. Like, he
Yeah.
was one of their
Well,
top
his
wrestlers.
finisher was the diving headbutt, so that's where all the
Oh,
concussions
okay,
came
I
from, too.
think
He'd
I know
jump
what you're
off the
talking
top
about
rope
now.
And headbutt somebody. Like,
Damn.
Kind of.
Sounds
And,
ridiculous.
yeah, it was.
I need to stop headbutting punching machines.
Every time we go to the Diesel, we got our tradition. They got a punching machine there.
Like
of
one of
ones
those
you
things
hit
that
it.
score.
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And it goes
Oh,
up
heck
and
yeah.
measure your punches. And every time we play there, we also got to go hit the punching machine real quick. And
That's awesome. You know, it's funny because that was the last time we played together was at the Diesel.
Yep.
When was that? That was September?
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
it September?
Yep.
Or something like
Yeah.
that?
Well, that's the show Steven was talking about. That one of the people that we go for bookings literally messaged us while we were there, like, "Hey, somebody dropped off of our show. Do you guys want to come play a show?" And we were like, back-to-back shows.
Oh,
Yep.
that night.
yeah.
Yeah.
You did a second show that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No, the next day, but we
Oh,
got
I'm
the
like,
news that
damn,
day.
dude. They're
I'm
like,
over
they
here
got off
being a yes
stage.
man.
Damn.
We tried. There was
I feel like I'd be the only one to say yes to that.
Yeah.
no.
Gung, gung, gung.
We came really close. There was 2 festivals that we had to play. I don't remember the name of the other festival, but we played with fucking Splinters out in Detroit, and then Weckl Fest, which is a local
Yeah.
thing in Marysville, happened at the same time. We were about to go and play Weckl Fest at noon.
Yep.
Be the first band on stage,
And then go to
middle of the
Detroit
morning,
and then play another
and then
set.
go to Detroit and play the same set. Like, I'm very proud to say, in
But the
our,
booker for the other festival had a conniption fit about it.
yeah,
Yeah,
he told us
he-
he wouldn't schedule us
If we played a show the same day.
They get
Right.
finicky. I usually, there's usually stipulations. Some are get really crazy
Which
with their
now no
stipulations.
one
a month
wants to
before,
work with
a month
him.
after.
Yeah.
And nobody
And nobody
likes
wants to work
him
with that booker
really?
anymore.
because
Yeah.
he was outed as being a creep
Uh-oh.
and a racist.
Creepy.
yeah.
Oh, no.
And may or may not have a severe poo fetish.
So you're
A weirdo. Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
Oh no! It's like shout them out. No. So I feel like that'd be the hardest on you, the back to back, because of the vocals and what you do. So now it's like nothing to you to do back to back.
That's one of my nicest things about blowing my vocals out when I was doing Whitechapel, dude. Is
They're more resilient now.
My stamina for my voice is insane. Like, we do practice sessions and we'll jam for 6 to 8 hours, and the entire time I'm screaming my ass off, and I can keep that tone in the entire thing. Like, I'm completely fine. The only time it's like a problem, we played one show. It was one of our out in Jackson shows at the Music Box, and I had just like 2 days prior gotten over an upper respiratory infection, and my lungs were still not 100% because like I was like the slightest breathe was like tightness in my chest, and I was coughing. And so when we went there and did that show, like I was damn near forcing everything I could. My lungs were on fire, and I just pushed with everything I can. And that's the only time that I'll ever struggle doing vocals, honestly.
Being sick.
Is being sick.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's tuned in, and she didn't realize it was you, and because you're always wearing your Ride the Lightning wristband at your shows,
my thing, yeah.
She was like, "What? It's Metallica, dude!"
Metallica, dude. I got the whole getup. I got like a Metallica wristband. I usually wear the Metallica shirt. I was borrowing my buddy Jason, this guy that's on the side here. He has a Snakebite ESP guitar, and he let me borrow it. So our first year of shows, I was going to every show with that damn guitar. Everybody was like, "That's the sickest guitar." I was like, "I look like James Hetfield." It was fantastic. They're like, "Is this Metallica?" And now when I found that LTD, I was like, I gotta have that thing. And it plays so good. The only problem I have with it is the pickups. I gotta change them out because they're passive pickups, and they have just a slightly muddled sound. And I've always wanted to, I've always kind of been scared to do it, but I always want to do like a pickup upgrade on the guitars, because that's kind of like I think a coming into passage of a guitarist, just like a computer gamer. Like I want to build a PC. Yeah. I kind of want to do some, custom stuff with that guitar. So that's going to be my thing. I call it King Solomon because that purple's royalty.
I'm a sucker for my humbuckers.
The humbuckers, there you go. Yeah. That's fantastic. So let's do another song. What's the next one?
Next we do No I Dadn't.
No, I Dadn't.
No, I Dadn't.
Nothing could be my father from the truth.
Zachary's he's blowing up the chat. He's like, I am reading your chat. Some of these I can't say, Zach. I
was going to say, look at what Zach's
some of these,
saying.
bro. No.
In true fashion,
Oh,
Zach.
no,
I'm surprised you
I
can't read
can't
some
say
of
that.
his comments.
It's like I already know what to expect, but I'm still scared when I have Zachary on the show as well.
You made him talk about a child murderer, man. He didn't even know. You set him up for the biggest fucking trap possible.
This is the thing. I was telling Jason too.
Wait, why am I laughing?
Like if having the spiciness, we might as well have it early. If we get canceled early, who cares? We'll just start again.
Exactly.
Just start over. I don't want to get canceled later. So bring Zachary on now. Talk about murdering dude or whatever. Whatever, we're doing it.
Make it a nice
that's gonna have to
trip
be
for
early on.
fans that go deep diving on your channel.
Yeah, ooh, bro, that's the one clip they're gonna see is us talking about Chris.
I told my girlfriend a few weeks ago I'm gonna start streaming my games and just try and go for the record of fastest canceled podcaster.
I can guarantee you'd probably make it, maybe 30 minutes, 15?
Hey, if nobody's been canceled faster than that, I did something notable, huh?
There you go.
Al gets a lot of
Do we
strikes.
got the Austin Powers
on his
soundbite
other
for
channel.
No I Dadn't?
No.
Give me a second.
Oh, you might.
For those that...
Give me 1 second.
Oh, because the beginning of the song.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the No I Dadn't is an Austin Powers reference.
I think I could pull it up.
The greatest movie trilogy of all time.
Actually, you might be able to find that.
Yeah, because I was, like I said, I was listening to it earlier because I was like, oh, I wonder what they have on streaming. And so I pulled up Get the Gatling. But the problem is, like, YouTube, on your behalf, YouTube will copyright me. It's not like you out there, like, get them for the copyright, but YouTube on your behalf will be like,
verbally giving him
because it's your channel as well.
listen to him. Listen to him, YouTube.
Yeah.
We own the rights to our own music, and we are giving him permission to use it and
we
monetize it and make money.
Bedroom. It's ours.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. We
How
got
dare
get the
you,
Gatling.
vultures?
We got no, I didn't. Okay. Here, let me hit it and then pause it and then
I
bring
do
it
not
up
have
here.
the soundbite.
No, I got
Fuck.
it here.
Oh God.
This should work.
This is gonna be a really interesting startup. Be a great time.
Honestly, it's not as flashy as I thought,
Yeah.
Harley. So I don't know if you've seen it on the phone there, but
Yeah, but that's
this is
never.
as much as I get. Is this kind of crazy?
I'd rather play it safe since
Okay.
I got to drive these guys home.
That's true. All right, hang on. Let me block them for.
Oh,
Oh, you're good to not block them. I'll just.
Oh, I thought that was a smoke alarm. I was like, I thought I unplugged them all.
ow!
Who did that?
I think it was PJ that did it.
Oh, you know what? Because I had to crank his microphone because he likes to keep it away from his face. It's not
Oh,
your fault,
yeah.
PJ. That's just where you naturally
Lazy
be.
jackass, move it like
That's
4
okay.
feet. Come on, man. Put in the work. Fuck.
All right, let's put it on auto music, lasers.
You're making me the most interesting guy in the band talking, and now you just can't even put a microphone to your face.
Smoke
God.
come out.
In the band? What are you talking about?
Look at him. He's a lead singer through and through, front man. It's all ego here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prima donna.
Prima donna, 100%.
Madonna. All right, let me load up No, I Didn't, and
I'm
we'll
quitting
get
the
started
band after
here.
this after
Get-
this session.
And get my
immediately.
face out of the way. You guys want me to hit it?
Yeah, if you
All right,
if you
I'm
can
hit-
time it.
Uh-oh. Someone has some daddy issues. Nothing could be my father from the truth. Who? You said my father. No, I didn't. Oh.
Sometimes I want to feel like I can finally find some semblance of peace in this world that seems insane. It seems insane, so tight. Until my animals die. And I just
Whoa! Fantastic. It's like I don't want them to end, though. Like when you guys are done with the song, I'm like, no! More. Fantastic. Very good. No, I didn't. Oh, maybe it's the guitar doing that.
It is.
A little creaky.
Pickups and microphones aren't friendly.
No, they're not, Zachary. I thought I nailed the reverb
butt's
voice.
getting
Especially
tender.
that singing part. That was really good. Especially
I've been
the
working on it.
dynamic of that song.
You
is
know, I
fantastic.
said I wanted to eat out is probably more like one of the biggest shows of my punk influence, but no,
Yeah.
that one right there. Like just the barred power chord to the octaves is just very punk, and it's a very fast song.
Yeah.
Like, what did somebody say to you? It's like we were like watching a punk band, but with Ben Durr on the vocals.
Yeah, someone had straight up told me like that's exactly what they said. It's like, dude, it's like a fucking punk band, but it's fucking Shadow of Intense vocalist just hitting
Yeah.
it.
Before we name this song, I would tell Phil, like, okay, do the punk one. Talk about
Yeah.
the punk
Do the
He
punk
would
one.
literally say that. He's not wrong.
Absolutely. Let me text
Fantastic.
Harley.
Yeah,
let him
get
know he's
Harley
good.
back in here.
Oh, he's
He probably just hears it. Hey, can you tell me how loud it is out there? How does this?
Mostly I just hear him and him.
Yeah.
Am I super
Not
loud?
too bad. My neighbors should be all right. I was considering going up to each one of them like before
Knocking on the
today
door.
and
Hey.
I'm gonna have a band over. Might get a little loud. I don't know. And maybe they're like super chill. They're like, oh, can we come over to hang out in the kitchen? Maybe that's what I'll do next time.
When they
Maybe
start
I'll do like a
pre-calling.
post. I'm gonna do a post-show survey. I'm like, hey, I was, did you hear that on Sunday?
No,
They'll
I
be
did
like,
not.
no, I didn't hear nothing on Sunday. Oh, well, then we're doing this all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I
Very
will
sick.
say, I watched a decent amount of podcasts. This is a really unique setup you got going on.
Oh,
with this
thank
studio,
you.
dude. I've
That's
never.
what I was thinking.
I don't think
too.
I've seen anything like this.
That's exactly why I was like, when Ala told me about it, I was just like, dude, yes.
It's like killer
yes,
idea, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Killer
Thank
idea.
you, and thank everybody watching out there. There's a bunch of people
Thank
up
you
here.
immensely to everybody
Fantastic.
watching. Thank you so much.
Man, it just feels so
Like
good to
us.
finally. It's like when you
Ow.
first went on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like all the practice, and then you finally get on stage and you're like, all right, we did it. We did something. We
Yeah.
finally took that first step. Do you guys remember your first show together?
Yeah.
Like, what was
Very
that
well.
like?
Yeah.
I still see the picture all the time scrolling through my Facebook because I'm a real big look back on things guy. Like if I'm just sitting chilling doing nothing, I'll be scrolling through my own Facebook photos, just looking back,
Yeah.
and like I can literally see it. It just transforms instantly from just pictures of me as my profile picture to every single one is just a picture on stage
There
from
you
a
go.
different show. And like now I actually do a thing with all those pictures. Like before I post it, I spend a good hour and a half thinking of a quote from
Yeah.
a song that I like or lyrics. Like I think 2 or 3 of them are lyrics from our songs, but like I listen to so much music. Like there's so many different song quotes that I put
Is that
on all
Pink
of my
Floyd
pictures.
lyrics up there, the Beatles.
Yep,
Yeah.
I put some Beatles lyrics up there. One of my favorites. Like, I wish I would have used it for a bigger picture. One of my favorite songs, "Turn the Page" by Bob Seger. Literally, one of them I wrote. There I go, playing a star again.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So, do you have a video of that? Did you record like phone footage or anything of that?
No.
That'd be awesome to be able to look back and be like, man.
Nobody was there.
Yeah.
It was a snowstorm, but
Okay.
we already agreed to it. We already planned on it. I do have a video somewhere of James falling on his face trying to help me push my car out of the
Someone
snow.
had a front wheel drive car that
was
could
me.
not get through the snow. So we were sitting there pushing it.
I borrowed my parents' Nissan to get there.
Yep. And James straight up ate shit trying to push that car.
Damn.
And we
Yeah,
had that
got
on
it.
video because we were just
Fucking
like,
car though.
we felt like
We
at
did
that
get the
moment,
car buzz. We did get the car to push.
Yeah. We felt like in that moment it was like, oh dude, God is telling us like not to
Don't
do
go.
this. Yeah.
Don't go.
We had a snowstorm on our first ever performance, and then like now the car's stuck in the.
Oh, they almost didn't let PJ in the bar because he didn't have his actual ID.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
had the paper ID. He was waiting
Yeah.
to get his physical card in the mail.
Yeah.
And then we were like, we're a band. We're playing tonight.
Yeah, and they reluctantly let us in because they're like, all right, you know what? You're lucky there's not people here. And I remember the bartender looked at us and was like, if people come in, and I was looking outside like, who the fuck is gonna come in? And I'm like,
Dude.
we had 4 foot of snow.
That bartender is
It was
a sweetheart though.
Yeah,
She's
it was. Yeah, she's cool. Now,
Love
I just
Angel.
at the first interaction
Angel's
with
great.
her, it was very like kind of rough, but like
Yeah.
you just learn that's like how she is as a person. But it was like 4 feet of freaking snow. It's like, dude, we came knowing that there's not going to be people here. That's
Yeah.
that's what we're going for.
It's like we just need to get our singer on a stage.
Yeah,
So we can get used to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was used to sitting down and screaming, but it's not when moving around trying
Yeah.
to be internet. Like it's still something that I have to work on to this day, where it's just like gesturing and doing all this
Yeah.
crazy stuff. Like, look at me, yeah.
You got to get used to it. It's like a muscle memory that you have to build on,
Yeah.
like just doing stuff. Because I've seen a lot of bands where they're all right there. They don't move. They don't do nothing. It's like, bro, that's half the point of
Yeah.
playing live show is of being an entertainer. You have to
It's
entertain.
a performance.
It's a performance. If I wanted to just hear me, even if it's good, even if they're like on point, it sounds good. It's like I would have just listened to it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? In my car, I'll check you out. But if
Yeah.
you're gonna play on stage, you gotta do a little something.
Yeah.
A little something here.
You got to keep
Only the
everyone's
bassist
attention.
can get away with not doing nothing. In your guys' case, it's like he could just be invisible.
You know,
I guess.
we should just add like a bed sheet
Yeah.
and put some eyes on it. Be
Oh, like a ghost.
yeah, strap a guitar or bassist to it and be
Yeah,
like,
dude.
"That's our bassist.
Doop.
He doesn't exist. He's,
I mean,
he's dead."
wait, am I technically our bassist even though I don't play bass?
If
before?
on the
TJ
album,
is
you'll get the
currently our
credits.
Studio
Yeah.
bassist.
For bass. Oh, that's
yeah.
fantastic.
But like I
do
said
track
earlier,
the
we want to
bass.
hopefully get like a bassist in the studio with us to track some of our new music, and then do like a run of shows with us, and
No, I didn't, Zachary.
then we could decide if if we vibe well, you can stay with us as a permanent member, or do we continue on as a trio and almost make that a gimmick of just keep picking up different basses. Maybe down the road we get Flea from Red Hot Chili
There you
Peppers
go.
Oh yeah,
to
absolutely.
do
It's
an
just
album with us.
so you heard it here. They're looking for a bassist, okay? So if you have vibes and you can vibe with these guys, and you're like, "Oh, I play bass, and these guys are awesome. I love their influences, and man, I was in that same. I have these same things." Then go ahead and contact these guys. They're looking for a bassist,
And
but
if you're in the thumb area of Michigan, or
The thumb would help.
somewhat close.
Massive.
yeah. Otherwise, I mean, I guess it's up to them if
That's
they're going to be
actually-
driving
yeah,
that
that's
far to
actually
get
one
to
of
you.
The big issues too that we've had is like all
Your
our
location.
bassists
Yeah.
That we like, they live so far.
And
away.
everybody that wants to play music by us, like
They don't want to play that kind of
they don't
music.
want to. No, they want to play the guitar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
And
many
you're like, I'm not
guitarists.
getting on. This is
No.
my thing.
Yeah, everyone around us it's either guitar or
Like I know damn well if I just bit the bullet and was like, fine, I'll play bass, we'd find a guitarist in a month, and like I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
He's admitting he's selfish.
But have you ever thought about bringing a second guitar?
Yeah, I'm actually
two guitars
I'm
and-
actually working with the younger cat and trying to get his chops up.
Oh, mentor. You're a mentor mentee.
Not the greatest mentor mentee, but yeah,
Yeah,
he's capable.
yeah,
he really is.
yeah. He's also a second generation musician. Out of this entire band, I'm the only one that's a first gen musician. My dad's
okay.
like my birth dad is like a DJ, and he does like.
No, I'm also a first gen musician.
I thought your dad was a
Nope.
musician. I
He just
swear to
he listened to a lot of music.
God. Oh,
There you go.
and mine. So James is the only second gen. So I guess it'd be nice for James to not be the outcast then.
He's like, it's in my blood, baby.
Yeah.
It's in the blood. Fantastic. With the Playboy, I was just looking at it. It's so shiny over there.
Yeah, I
Everyone
noticed
in
the
my
that
Playboy
guy
chain.
here.
Where's my drum zoom in? There you go.
Yes.
Look at him. He's in this boy's dripping.
He's always dripping, dude.
He's always
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to do something
In the
different
glasses,
in
too.
our scene. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
his-
we talked a lot about Attila and stuff, and I really like the combination of rap and metal. And I've talked about how we do hip hop on the side too. So whenever I struggled for the longest time to wonder what I'm gonna wear on stage with the band, and I was like, just wear the same stuff you would if you were rapping on stage. And that's pretty much what I did, and it works.
Yeah.
I like the wacky sunglasses.
Heck yeah.
And I like the sunglasses help me relax more.
There you go.
I hear that a lot with a lot of other people too. It's just I don't know. I get anxiety, and when I put the sunglasses on, it kind of goes away.
Bro, I'm the same way. Like these sunglasses, I'm like, this is part of my image now. It's like
Exactly.
the sunglasses.
It
It's just,
works.
I would wear these sunglasses 24/7 if I could get away with it. The problem is when you wear them in certain instances, and people are just like, "What is with this guy? Why are you wearing sun?" I get questioned all the time. Why are you wearing your sunglasses? Either it's at night, or
Especially
it's
if you're
at-
inside, yeah.
and I'm like, because I fucking want to. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, bro, are
So-
you wearing the sunglasses?
So this is the part where we plug Ray-Ban sponsor this.
Heck
band,
yeah,
maybe.
bro. I'm literally, that's the goal because
Yeah.
what's funny is Garrett, he bought these first, the drummer of Epic Disappointments.
Yeah.
He bought them off some truck when he's blowing money because that's what he usually does, just blows money. And then so at some point he's like, bro, I need to make some money back. And so he was like, hey, Al, you want to buy these Ray-Bans? And I've always loved Ray-Ban, but they're too expensive, bro. These things are like $250. And so he's like, I was like, I'd love them, but I can't afford that. I'm poor. And he's like, I'll sell them for you $60. I was like, $60? All right, I'll take
For
them. So I've had
Ray-Bans?
these for
Run me
years.
that, dude.
This same pair for years. I was like, that's how it's got to be. So Garrett has he has a pair of Ray-Bans. I get a pair of Ray-Bans. And then Dylan, the lead guitarist, his wife works at a thrift store, and she came across a pair of Ray-Bans. And what's funny is they're green frames. And Dylan's such a wacky dude that green frames just fit him. It's just like he needs something wacky. So he has Ray-Bans. So I said, oh, you know what we need to do? We should do like a funny video where it's like, oh man, we all got Ray-Bans except for Mario. And then it's like, wish Mario had a pair. Ray-Bans, send Mario a pair unless you don't like them or something. And then just get Mario to get the free pair of Ray-Bans from them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because
They're
that's
gonna
one of
get it confused, and they're gonna make the video game character Mario a sponsor for Ray-Bans.
I'm definitely the wackier one in the band. Like I've pulled up to a show and literally just like pullover cardigan with the open,
Yeah.
open, no shirt underneath it. Literally wore Puma slides.
There you go.
Overalls he's done before, no shirt under it.
Yeah, no, I haven't done that.
Oh.
I can't find the overalls, but it's coming.
Completely
Coming
naked
soon.
underneath
It
the
is
overalls. There's
coming.
nothing.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's wait. I thought that was how you're supposed to wear overalls.
Is that it? It's more freeing, especially if you're gonna be on stage. You need to be able to move
For real,
a little
man,
bit.
I'm a big dude. I gotta breathe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it makes sense because it's hot on that stage,
Oh,
and the
dude.
lights, bro.
Yeah.
Like the experience of being on stage is so different than when you're looking up. Like it's so weird to be on that other
He
side
also rises
and
as well.
experience that.
I've definitely got off stage like dripping sweat, and then stood down in the crowd, and I was cold.
Yeah.
Because of the sweat that I'm drenched in.
Got the 1,000-watt lights, and they're just like.
Yeah.
Psh. And what's so funny is like depending on the venue, and especially how close people are. That's why a lot of bands, obviously, you want people close so that way you can feel their energy or whatever. But a lot of times, if they're not close enough, you can't see them because the lights
Yeah.
are so bright. They just look like little shadowy figures in the background. So you're like, no, come up close. I want to see you and look at your face and stuff.
So, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead, Steven.
Cheyenne has said that she has a real question again.
All right, Cheyenne, hit me with the real question in the chat again, because there's so much chatting going on, especially from Zachary.
I was about to say, Zach's going wild.
Zach's going wild. I can't, like I said, I can't read. Will I be your stepdad? No, Zachary, I cannot be your stepdad. Zachary, I cannot do this. He also said I should play bass. You know what's funny? I love, so I have all the instruments here because for my band I make, like when I make a song, I make it all by myself because it's like I feel like the idea is just like I'm like, oh man, I know what to do for this and this and this and this. And then so for my band, I bring them the idea and then they go, okay, if I'm playing the bass, I'll do a little of this. And then Dylan's like, well, I'd like to do a little this. And then Garrett's like, I would make the drum beat this. So they add their own flavor afterwards. But I come to them with like kind of the core of the idea. So like, I play all the instruments, but like the thing about being a bass or playing bass, and like Zachary would know this we were talking about this one time after a show. It's like, anybody can technically play the bass, but to be a bassist is different.
Yeah.
To
it's entirely
know
different.
how to actually play the bass is
Where to-
totally different.
Where to accentuate, where to pause, where to
Yes.
put dead notes, when to slide, when
That's
to
an
do a
instrument
bass
you gotta have
drop.
soul to be able to play.
Yes,
You gotta have
it is
soul, no matter what the
particular.
genre.
A bassist like Zach Wiggins, man.
Bassists get a lot of
Also-
hate, but
also,
it's undeserved.
You saying you should play bass. I'll get a hold of you when we start booking again.
Also, on
At
another
least
note,
doing one show.
Kayla asked to have you talk about your Xmas vid you made because she's still traumatized.
Uh-oh. Xmas?
Okay.
Oh,
So
dude.
we're
So there's a local there's like a local thing, award show that happens annually around where we're at in the Blue Water area, called the Bwammies, and we got nominated
Music
for
Awards.
Blue Water Music Awards. We got nominated for Best Original Act, and like it's a fan vote. Yeah, please, I'd kill for water. It's a fan vote platform. And what I did for the promotional video was it was Christmas Eve. So like I had this perfect idea. I was doing some unspeakable
idea.
I was doing some unspeakable things with my love, and
Oh, no.
I got an idea to put the presents out, but take a video in only a mini skirt. So I came out with some light Christmas music playing. I put a present underneath the tree, and then I walked up and I crouched down and I spoke real softly and real quietly to the camera, like, make sure you guys go and vote for us for this year's Bwammy. We were chosen for Best Original Act, so all your votes would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to put out your milk and cookies for Santa. And then I just walked off screen.
and I mean
ended
this
the
man's
video.
this man's is wearing like a short skirt.
Yeah, that was all I had on.
PJ.
A short skirt or a mini
PJ.
skirt?
A
Didn't
mini
you have
skirt.
like your hair?
He's
in
like, how
braids?
mini was this skirt?
It was mini.
No, it wasn't in braids. I had it up in a bun with some hair hanging out.
Yeah. Our announcement that we had an EP out was it's still on our band page.
That one's
Or
even-
no,
no.
that one got deleted. Thank God.
No, that band page got deleted. Not that
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
What?
So they had called me because we had uploaded it through DistroKid, and DistroKid doesn't tell you specifically
Just
when it's
James
uploaded.
called him first.
Yeah.
It gives you a window, and it's like, hey, it's sometime.
Could
within
be
this-
any point.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there. It's like 10 o'clock at night. James calls me, and I'm like, "What's up, bro?" And it's just him up close, and he's just like, "Hey, Steven, I want to take a second to talk to you about the fact that our EP has now been uploaded to Spotify." And as he's talking to me, his camera's moving further and further out.
Oh, no.
Until eventually I see a completely buck naked James with his genitals tucked in between his thighs.
Oh no, like
no,
the
no, no! I had a
Is this
pillow
what you
cover.
told me
Oh, you
about
had a
earlier
pillow.
It
today?
was
You
a
had a pillow.
It was a poop emoji pillow.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what it
no.
was. It was PJ. Did you have it tucked in?
Somebody's tucking.
Someone
Hold on,
tucked.
hold on. Is this,
No,
I know.
I had
is this
only
what you told me about before we left today?
Yes.
I had
Okay.
only a wife beater on, and I had it tucked up and under.
Yeah, he made it a Borat mankini.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on here?
And they uploaded it. They uploaded it to our band page.
That's how we told everybody.
And that
Our
was our
music's online.
announcement that, hey, Get the Gatling has music. Like, that was the
Steven's
just
reaction.
out there. Like, hey, this is out.
I mean, to be honest, it sounds like the perfect viral video. It sounds like,
Right.
hey,
Yeah,
this
that
is.
was the
attention
idea.
grabber.
That was the idea.
It's just crazy because, like, one of their grandmas is on that page. And, like, that.
Oh, we all got grandmas on our.
Oh yeah, both of our,
Hey,
both
Grandma.
of our grandmas follow the band.
This one's for grandma
I
out
was sitting here,
there.
like,
Oh
literally, the
boy.
entire video is me just cheesing and, like, just so uncomfortable and just, like, this, like, really awkward smile on my face because both of these guys. are just
Steven said, and I quote, in this video, "This is just a reoccurring nightmare that I can't wake up from."
What the hell? This
Just-
is nuts.
Just us calling his phone and nothing.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But that's also why we haven't really found, like, a bassist.
Oh, just
or-
wait till we drop this next one.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
You're gonna see Steven's open butt crack.
I
Oh,
seen
no.
Cheyenne's comment come up. She asked if we were all long-legged mofo's like Al is.
Are you guys long? Is it because I'm like covering their legs here?
Dude, my legs are
These
way
guys don't-
longer than my
I don't
torso.
know what defines a long-legged man.
Do you,
exactly?
is it because your legs are taller than your torso? Is that what it is?
I
Like
think
if
it's
you
just
ripped
that
off
we're
your
so
legs?
so
and you-
sunken down that you see more of our legs than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, here, let me zoom in.
I
Script says
No legs here, just torso. Get them legs out. Oh no, he's starting to tuck. No.
Tuck and roll.
No. Oh boy.
I actually do have pretty long legs because I remember very specifically one time when I was living in my first apartment with my roommates. I was way smaller and more fit at the time because I worked out every day, and I had my back up against like the couch right here, and I was sitting upside down and
Yeah.
doing bicycles into the air.
Yeah.
And
Hard.
my roommate looked at me. He was like, "Dude, your legs are really long, but your torso is really small. I'm kind of uncomfortable right now."
Oh no. And you were naked then too?
No, I wasn't naked. I was just sitting upside down doing bicycles because the angle.
That's how we
was
found him. He
way-
heard
yeah.
the flapping
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah.
and was
Just
like,
balls,
"What's that,
balls,
man?"
balls.
But yeah,
Skin on skin
that
clapping.
angle's way better for your core when doing bicycles.
There you
Okay,
go.
I gotta ask Al, how tall are you?
6'1".
Okay.
Yeah.
6'1".
5'8".
5'8" with those
James?
long ass legs.
5'8" or 9.
Yeah, my torso's
Steven?
tiny.
I'm also 5'8", like 5'8".
I'm
maybe
6'3".
5'7".
6'3". Oh man, they do
So-
have long legs for the height of the thing. That's
the things.
fantastic.
The height of the thing.
The things, the rest of their body, the rest of their body's unimportant. This kind of goes with this. Nope Dubstep said, "You all starting OnlyFans? Who's going to OnlyFans going?
That's PJ.
Screwed XX loose.
You already have an
He
OnlyFans?
does.
Screwed loose.
I'm
baby.
not surprised.
We made our band
PJ.
page, and within
What?
the first 24 hours of it being made, his girlfriend had this really pissed off ex that had a video of him receiving
fellatio.
Fellatio.
and he sent it to everyone that liked the band page within the first 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
For free?
For free.
Dude, that's the only reason our
It's like
first.
I'm trying to get paid.
That's the only reason our first band page didn't have a 5-star rating was because of that
My
one
mother-in-law
one-star
received
review.
that video.
Yeah. I started.
Forgot about that.
I woke up and it was like 11, and I just opened it, and it's PJ fat necking with like this object between his legs. And I was like,
What?
"What the fuck is happening?"
Oh no.
I started panicking, and I was like messaging everyone I know. Do not open your message from this account. Don't just block it. It's like unlike the band page. Unlike the band page. Like I was freaking out.
Oh,
It was so.
no.
I thought we were never gonna recover from it, dude. I was.
good thing.
If
freaking
anything,
out.
you would
Probably
get
a
more
good thing that
popular
first fan
from.
page
I
got
was about to
deleted.
say, bro, that's some rock star
From the
shit. What are you talking
It
about?
just
From the
might
stupid
draw the
shit
wrong
PJ will
audience.
post for the benefit of the name getting out. Yeah, he might get in trouble legally, but
Yeah, fuck it.
exactly.
Zachary wants me to ask
Everyone
about
was
New
above
Year's
age and consenting
2023. Ask about that
Oh my
show.
God.
What happened at New Year's 2023?
Steven, take this one, because I have fucking PTSD from that.
Oh,
Was that the
no.
one with,
CJ
Kicking
just said
Back
we don't
Sunday?
talk about New Year's 2023.
We don't.
Who said that one?
CJ.
CJ Murdo. So
We don't talk about that one?
Eddie Reyes Taking Back Sunday, yes? Is that the yeah? So the
The rhythm guitarist, mind you, not even the lead guitarist.
the promoter that we don't talk about anymore, that I still to this day I will not utter their name and give them any type of like spotlight.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Ask Zach
so-
about that guy when you get a chance.
Yeah, we had
On
a New
his
Year's
show.
show. We played with him and we had shows booked with him. Unfortunately, for like 2 fucking years, and we were like.
I
Pretty
mean, to be fair, he was pretty steady. If
He
we
was
went
the
to
first
him.
one to get us shows outside of our town.
And
so-
pay us.
and
Yeah,
consistently.
us.
yeah, and he would actually pay us for it. So it was like, you know what?
But fuck him.
But it was just
Yeah,
weird
but fuck
because like randomly at like midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, he just make like someone poop on my chest.
Yeah, dude.
Sounds like Zachary.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Zach
Sounds like
jokes.
PJ, too.
Zach's got really
Yeah.
twisted humor.
He don't want you to poop on his chest.
I'm not
pretty
down with
sure-
the funk. I'm down with a lot of shit, but the funk is not one of them.
That promoter, I think, was actually genuine about it. Is my thing. But regardless, so we did the show. It was all these local bands. We're over at the was it Lions Head?
Lions Club.
Lions Club, and
In
it's this
Yale,
small.
Michigan.
What city is this?
Yale.
Yale.
Yeah,
Yale, Michigan.
Small,
the
little, tiny
baloney
venue.
capital of the world.
Yep.
It was our
Town.
Home of the
second
Bologna
year ever
Festival.
playing, and there were some good fucking things about that show. There's a band that I love to pieces called A La Carte, and A La Carte came out, and their vocalist was dressed up as the fucking butler from Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Gimp hand
With
and
the
all.
hand.
Strong.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the
no.
rest of the band was in chef outfits.
Yeah.
Fancy.
And all of their songs were about having sex with food, basically.
Okay. Very cool.
And they had this giant piece of bologna, and they drilled a hole into it through the top and the middle, and straight up they put pot in it, and everyone was passing around like
smoked
a bowl.
out a
Oh, I
I
thought
was-
you were going to say they were
I was the-
screwing
I
it
was
on
the-
the
That's what I was thinking.
That's
I'm
the
like,
next thing I
Jesus
thought.
Christ,
Oh,
where's this
no,
going?
no.
I was the first in line to hit that baloney.
The bologna ball, the
Yeah.
bologna pipe, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that
And then was
like a
that the
one-hitter.
same year as the fucking
The
pipes?
yes. Shout out to lead poisoning.
Yeah,
Ah,
fucking
shout
love
out
that
Oh, lead
place.
poisoning.
Because you are able to smoke out of his organ.
Yeah.
His what?
His
Yeah.
organ.
It's like,
Oh, I thought it was like his
The
organs. Like, oh, it's his
instrument.
intestines. We got like the sick ass.
No.
What the hell?
Someone's got a fucking tray
has-
hole and they made a bong out of it.
Yeah, he had like a little tiny.
on my TikTok, it's actually got like 120.
Yeah, dude, James got so
of
many
me
fucking
hitting-
views on that
He
thing.
almost went viral from it.
Yeah.
truthfully.
50,000 likes, and it's me hitting the organ.
Yeah, and there's people like, yo, bro, pass the keys. I'm trying to hit the keys, and like, it's just a video of him literally. It's the stupidest fucking thing ever. We upload things. There's a video on his TikTok of me looking at art, going, man, that's amazing. And then he pans over and it's a naked woman, and he's just like, oh yeah, the boobs. And then it's immediately going, wait, no, and that's the end of the video.
No,
You gotta realize though, people love stupid.
That was at
content.
Color Wave.
Yeah.
That was at
That was
Colorwave.
at
That's when we
Colorwave.
first met you.
Did you actually go
way.
in the building?
I did before the show. I was just like, she took me in.
Yeah.
Was it Alta? Took
Yeah.
me in there, and I was like, oh, that's cool, because we were debating, is the show going to be inside or outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it ended
Yeah,
up
no,
just
we
being
went
outside.
through that whole building, and like, there's art on every single fucking wall.
And
in
right there on the stairs, as you go upstairs, there's this giant, beautiful, colorful piece of art of like this lady, but she's topless in it.
Okay.
And I literally was just looking around at all the different art, and I just happened, as soon as I said that, to look at that. Like, I was mid-sentence saying, like, man, all this room is beautiful. And I panned to it.
Boom.
And James already had his phone locked in, caught me in 4K, and was just like, yeah, man. It pans right over to the art I'm looking at the current second. And he's just like, it's amazing, isn't it?
That's what it's about. Timing.
Oh, dude.
But that one didn't go viral. But
That-
a video of him
that,
being crouched down while random people are having just stupid-ass conversations as he's literally lighting a thing and smoking out of a piano. Viral.
Boom.
American TikTok.
That
for
show
you.
also started a tradition between the three of us. A picture that I'm amassing an album of
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
You're saying like where you take a lot of
Are you
pictures
talking
and then
about
make a
the
big
ass
picture?
Photos?
I'm talking about
Are
the
you
ass
talking
photos.
about the ass album?
I'm talking about the ass photos.
Well, you know how many photos of our ass?
What-
Whose
What
asses
the
are getting
hell did
photos?
I
Three of us.
miss?
The
All
three of our
us.
asses.
A
I
lucky
have
photographer every
Oh, I
once in
thought
a
you were like,
while.
I go up to everybody, can I see your ass?
No.
It's for an album.
No, the three of our
Okay.
asses.
That's actually
Stars,
genius.
Oh my god, I have an idea for the fucking video to fucking drop stars.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh, Zachary wants me to specifically call it, what about the meet and greet? He said the meet and
We're
greet.
getting to that. We got to give the lore.
He's
chill.
shouting, all
We're-
caps. We
roller
need to
coaster.
hear about it.
Hey,
You'll hear
Zachary,
about
it's
it
called a
soon,
build-up.
Zach.
It's a
You're-
story.
Yeah, you're strapped in. The
Get
roller
in the
coaster is
journey.
building. Just
That's right.
You
Oh,
can't
yeah, we need to
enjoy
click,
the
click,
drop.
click, 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 click.
Yeah, we need to focus back on this travesty
Yeah.
of a New Year's show.
Basically, TLDR. At some of our shows, we'll find a real private space where no one's around,
Yeah.
and we'll moon the camera, and they'll take pictures of it. So we have I think 12 photos of us.
No, we're only at 6.
Okay.
6 times 3.
Yes.
Because it's each one of your asses.
Yeah.
Or is it
So
all
you're-
the asses are together? It's
All the
one
asses and
all of
photo.
us standing
All the
with
asses
3
are
asses.
2
Yeah.
cheeks each.
Just lined up.
Okay,
as
so
well,
this is
so
6
that's-
different
Yeah.
ass photos.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just a weird tradition that we have, and it's the only jackass level thing that I will ever do.
I call bullshit.
The only? Yeah, there you
right
go.
now.
Totally.
Oh, I'm gonna call out homeboy right now, real quick. One of them, he was wearing really tight pants, and he had to whole ass drop trow, and you can tell he's holding his junk up.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, he's like, this is an ass photo, not a junk photo.
Yeah.
That's a difference.
But
We could have put googly eyes on your balls.
Oh, there you go. From the back, googly eyes on the back.
But anyways, so the big draw to it was 2 of the people that were working on the event were really, really, really specific, and they were like, "Hey, we got Eddie Reyes of Taking Back Sunday, one of the old members that's no longer a part, is willing to come out and do a meet and greet for the show." And all of the bands, pretty much minus maybe 1 or 2 bands, did not give a shit. And they were like, they had messaged us and was like, "Hey, give us money so we can get this guy out here. We need a big name out here. This is what's going to draw people to the show. Let's pay this guy to come out and do a meet and greet so that way we have more people coming out and wanting to actually be at this show."
Yeah.
So all of the bands threw together a light amount of money, but I won't lie, we paid more money for the photographer than we did for Eddie Reyes. I don't want to sound like a dick, but I had never heard of Taking Back Sundays. To this day, I still don't know a single song by them.
Take it back Sunday.
Yeah,
I love emo music.
I
know.
am
I
don't
knew
know
who
what
Taking
they
Back
are.
Sunday was.
I'm
I
strictly
have some
metal.
good memories of Take It Back Sunday.
I'm strictly metal. If it's not
Yeah.
metalcore, deathcore, rock, anything like that,
Yeah.
and usually even then it's got to be extremely heavier for rock as well. I don't typically care for it or don't know it too much.
Yeah, no, I love bands like The Cure, Taking Back Sunday, fucking Basement, Old.
I didn't know
Gray.
about AFI until he told me about them, and that was a fun little dive for me as well.
I'm
So
still
which
learning
guy
about
was
a bunch
it?
of these bands.
Eddie Reyes.
Eddie
What
Reyes.
what is he in the band? Because I don't know their names.
Rhythm.
He was the
He was
rhythm
their
guitarist.
Rhythm
guitarist.
guitars
Yeah.
for
So-
Taking Back Sunday.
They made this big fucking deal to have him come out, and he finally comes out. And
He's fucked up, first of all.
He's on some type of substance. This dude's
Substance.
he's talk. Yeah, I say substance because I don't know. I'm not.
I'm pretty sure he was drunk as shit. He
He
smelled.
was
Still
walking
substance.
up to people inches from their face talking. There was one person there at that show. He had this limited edition vinyl that was signed by all of the members of Taking Back Sunday, and he said that, you know what, I'm willing to sell this for this event. He's just we'll start a bidding war, and whoever pays the most gets it. And the only person to bid was this one chick. She was one of the people that tagged along with Walking Down Main. Amazing person.
Amazing band.
Amazing band as well. Great people. And I think she had said I'll pay $40 for it. And Eddie straight up was like, "All right, cool. We'll start it at 40." And the night went on, and no one else wanted it. No one else put a bid on it.
Yeah.
And Eddie straight up looked at her and was just even though he had said that, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
whoever highest bid, you get it." He's like, "I want at least $250 for it."
Yeah. Oh man, he's like eBay with a reserve price.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
pretty much is the reason every other band got paid shit for that show too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and then he left 2 hours.
2 hours.
Not
he,
even
he started
hour and a half into the
screaming
show.
at all of the fucking people at the show and was like, "Get the fuck up. Get up here and support your scene. This is why your scene is not as popular, is because it's all about the fans and you guys are just sitting on your asses. Get up here, move."
And then he left.
Mind you, the mosh pit went crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
moving.
the crowd was good.
and
Yeah.
pushing and shit. Yeah.
But yeah, he started being a dick to people. He's stumbling. he kept leaving and coming in and out, and he was sitting in his car for like 15, 20 minutes, and he'd come back in.
Yeah.
And right before my band got on stage, he just left.
Yeah.
He got in his car, didn't say anything to anyone, just packed up all of his shit and just left. And he was paid by...
He was mad about not getting that $250.
Yeah, he got paid by the guy, the promoter, to stay for the entire night.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
literally,
Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, that was the last... like...
In
He
Taking
hasn't
Back
been-
Sunday's
hasn't
defense,
been-
he's
he hasn't
been
in that
out of the band for years.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not a part
So
of it.
No.
perhaps, yeah,
No.
not anymore.
Old
He was one
member.
of their original members.
Wonder why he's no
Then you're
longer...
So
all right,
it's
Taking
actually
Back Sunday.
funny that like he was even paid so much to do this in the first place.
Yeah, wonder why he's no longer in the band. It
Oh,
couldn't-
that part,
couldn't.
dude.
Money that could have went to the band's paying that night. We
But
didn't.
that's... Yeah,
that was a big pay cut we took.
Yeah, we got
What'd we
paid
make, like-
$40.
Yeah.
Not even 30. 33.
Yeah.
Split 3, 11 each.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did.
But Eddie, I think Eddie got like $600.
Something like that. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the photographer didn't even come out either.
Yeah.
Because fucking the promoter pissed her the fuck off.
Fuck you. We're not saying your name.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So it was just, that was probably one of the worst fucking shows we ever played because
Damn.
it was a shit show. The bands and the people, amazing. The memories
Oh,
from that
yeah.
night, like a la carte,
Yeah.
the key piano fucking smoking, all of that was great.
Fucking Nat Graff was out there.
Nat Graff was there, so Zach obviously knows that firsthand.
Yeah.
Zachary says, I have my side of the show that's so silly.
Yeah. Zach is a very unserious guy, but when I went outside and I saw him standing on the porch of that place and I could see the rage in his face,
You don't see him fuming very
you
often.
don't see him mad.
Yeah.
So when you see him like that, you're like, oh God, you know this is
Yeah,
like-
something went fucked up.
Yo,
Yeah.
What happened?
And literally it was just because of Eddie.
No, I know.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought when you said what happened, you were
No,
just like, wait,
no.
what happened?
It was his fault. It was Eddie.
Have you been listening?
Eddie.
I'm not even paying attention.
I
to
was
it.
there. Damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Yeah. So for him to be upset about that was severe, and on top of that, Zach quoted Eddie for like the first 2 months after that show. Anytime we'd play a show together because we play with them pretty regularly. And he'd be like, "Don't you guys care about the local scene? Come on." So that was a recurring joke that we'd always have. Is like just constantly bringing that up.
It's like we do. Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Man, I'm glad he's not part of the band because I'm like, I had a really good memory of going to a Taking Back Sunday show in like 2019.
When they went,
I didn't see him
when they
until
were on tour with
2019.
Coheed and Cambria?
Yeah, I think so, but I
Oh.
arrived late, so like I didn't
Yeah.
arrive until then.
I was at that show.
It was well. See, what was crazy was I got to see them in L.A. because I was out in Los Angeles,
Right.
and I took this beautiful girl out on a date. Her name's Nancy. If you're out there, please message me. Absolutely fantastic. I miss you. I miss you.
Message him, Nancy.
You're the best girl, Nancy. You're the best girl.
Listen, look at him
but that
confessing
Taking
his
Back
love.
Sunday. Now when I hear, I just wanna break you dance, I'm like Nancy. Fantastic. So I'm glad they didn't ruin that by not having this guy still there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, guys, it's time for another song.
Oh,
What's the next
shit.
one?
I don't even know.
You know,
So no, the next one that we have is Dead Roses.
Dead Roses.
Dead Roses.
So what do we have? 2 more?
Well, it depends on how long this gentleman wants.
Well,
to
we're at 2.5 hours, so I was thinking 3 hours. So
We
we'll
got
do a
3 songs
song,
left.
a little more talking, and then we'll do another song to get the thing. And
Dude,
and
Dead
if you people want to hear another one after that, you'll have to put encore in the chat. Encore, and maybe they'll just do 2 songs back
all right,
to back
you know
at
what?
the end.
Our last song is a new one that we've been working on.
So that's the grand
Okay.
finale.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if there's enough people that want to hear and want us to do one more song, we've got one that we played it a couple times at live shows. We played it maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
We've got something coming for it. I don't wanna be that guy that's like
Ooh.
big things coming,
Big things coming,
soon.
baby.
And
Hell
that's why
yeah.
I've been silent as fuck on social media, but genuinely, like, we have something nasty.
The band
coming.
page, both
Nasty.
Facebook
Nasty.
and Instagram, have been very silent lately.
We
And,
have a lot of people. Like I said, I will never not.
We're in the lab right now.
I will never not say thank you to the Boys and Splinters. They are one of our biggest supporters and one of our biggest believers.
Absolutely.
And they helped us out. Specifically, Billy and oh my God.
Casey?
Yes, Casey. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm such a dick. I forgot his name.
Casey, we didn't forget about you.
No, absolutely not. Could not. I literally have him on Snapchat. I talk to him like almost every day.
Oh, fantastic.
But
Fantastic.
yeah, we've sent this to a couple people, and I mean, even their old guitarist Chad, that's a part of Engrave. he's heard it, and like there's a lot of people that are very interested in us dropping. Even Rob from Atwater or Limitless Productions, he for sure wants to hear that too.
Shout out to Billy for doing the cover art for this.
Yeah.
single when it
Yeah.
dropped.
Okay,
As
I
well.
wasn't gonna say anything because I don't want to spoil it. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Billy came in fucking clutch and made the art for it, and I literally could not get it any more like spot on for the energy that we wanted. We
Yeah.
told him exactly what we wanted, and that man literally took it from our brains and threw it into a picture, and I can't wait to drop it. I
If
really
you
can't.
heard all that and you're not hype out there and you're not going to put like play that song at the end, bro, I don't know what you people are doing. I don't know what the hell you people are. You heard all that? You're not, oh, I'm not a little bit curious. You better be curious. You better be typing. But
all I'm saying is to the fans that are like, guys, I wish you were heavier. You need to be like a little heavier.
who's saying that?
I hope this.
Who's
little-
saying that, Steven?
I
I'm
hope
going to
this
hit
little-
him right
I hope
now.
This little e-kit can take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Actually,
destroy it. It's still under warranty. Not only is it still under warranty, I bought the Guitar Center 2-year like additional add-on, so just break
Oh,
the shit
God.
out of it, bro. I don't care.
Oh my
I do not care.
Oh, shit.
All right, let me.
This next one we're playing is my personal favorite.
What was
of
it called
ours.
again?
Dead Roses.
Dead Roses. Everybody get ready for Dead Roses.
I hope you all like some singing because there's a lot of that in this one. Singing.
Some clean bop.
Might be our first ever acoustic song that we do, truthfully.
Acoustic.
Yeah, if we ever do an acoustic version of something.
I actually want to do one of No I Dad in as well.
No, I Dad is acoustic? Shit. Maybe sometime in the near future we just get an acoustic album going. Imagine doing like Smith and Wesson. Yeah, bitch, I hate you with my whole being.
That song is so not fit for acoustic.
You filthy piece of shit.
Hang on, let me do one last thing just for Cheyenne.
Oh,
You always
oh.
ask about my damn pencil lights, and I always forget to turn these things on.
Oh, no.
No.
Look what you did, Cheyenne.
Well, now I
You
only
made him,
have
you
two.
made him
Just a
do the
little
thing with the
honorable
stuff.
Witnesses, I was sitting right here. I didn't touch
Oh, that's my ass.
Oh, yeah. We're getting a nice show with that one. Do you see that? You
Add
see
that
that?
to the ass album.
Absolutely.
But it has to
We'll
be
just
your ass.
screenshot it and like,
Take a bare ass photo with us at the end of this.
oh my god.
Just for
That,
the end.
that'd be crazy.
First podcast, 7th ass photo.
This is the ass cast.
Get the assling.
There you go. All right, guys, hit it.
Mountain roses falling out the sky. Oh God, please no one asks you why. A dead rose lands in your head. Just grasp it tighter. Let the laceration sink in. My dead roses falling out the sky. I'm taking it, I'm not taking it. I can't like bring it up, but they won't take what I'm waiting. Alright, well I put away from my mom just like that. I just want to back and run. I'm dead. Roses falling out the sky. Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. Another absolute banger. Busting out the bangers, boys.
I'd like to see someone do a vocal cover of that.
A vocal cover?
I'll wait.
Oh, we gotta get it up there first.
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, that song is not yet available, even though we've been playing it for a couple years.
Not yet available.
It's hard being a vocalist, guys. I'm out of breath.
Get that boy some water.
Absolutely, I got some. I'm good.
Fantastic.
Some milk.
We need some milk.
That's so good. Very nice.
Milk is nice. We like milk.
That's so funny. They're already getting encores in the chat, so you might as well just get ready. When we get to the end, we're going to add that. Thank you, everybody, for putting that out there.
We were gonna force it on you guys. if you
Fog
didn't want
puts
it
everybody
anyways.
in the mood. I agree, Dubstep. I absolutely. As soon as I had this idea, I was like, I'm gonna bring the lights because I have all this equipment at the guitarist place because he has a house in the basement. We jam and we do. I don't know. Do you guys do gig simulators? You're like, all right, we're about to get ready for the show. Let's pretend
No,
that we're at the
'cause
show.
I'm broke as fuck.
During practice sessions, if we got a show.
I mean,
coming up,
just
we'll run
mentality,
through the set
not
list.
with the
Oh,
lights or
no.
everything. Just the mentality of like, all right, let's run through the set and see the
Oh,
time
yeah.
because you know you
Oh,
got to
yeah.
do the timing of
Yeah.
it and stuff like that. And
Right.
I never like to have like
Yeah,
the
especially 'cause
sayings.
we
It's just
have,
I know
like-
I'll say something. I'm not gonna
Especially
say
Steven
that.
got
Yeah.
used to talking to the crowd in between songs, as we
Yeah.
can pretend to do that at like in the
shut the
fucking
lasers off.
practice room and stuff.
And we have
Just
like
like
the
from
sound
the Pick
bites
of
and
Destiny.
shit, too.
Yeah.
At the gig simulator.
Yeah, gig simulator. It's crazy. What was that from Tenacious D?
Tenacious D. and
Yeah.
Tenacious
Yeah,
D,
that's where we're like, bro, we gotta have gig simulator. So I've been doing that for
We make Steven
years,
do cock
bro.
push-ups too.
We've been doing cock push-ups, and one's all you need. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Just one time a day.
you're not cranking out hundreds of these things.
Absolutely.
Just gotta lift your body off the floor with just your boner. Out there, do the cock push-ups. Harley, thanks for joining us again here. It's doing all right, and my neighbors aren't like outside. You didn't see any cops or anything driving by. We're doing great, people. We're doing fantastic.
I think the plus side is like, it's like 2 minutes of loud noise, and then it's another hour of silence for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I,
it's like-
I would just love to hear from their perspective what they think is going on.
They just hear
Like,
some
what do
dude
they
losing
think
his
is going
fucking
on?
mind.
Yeah, it's like imagine him screaming at his wife. They're like, oh, that guy down there in that part is screaming. I was like, "Wah, yeah, yeah." I don't even remember. You know, it's like I don't know what the words are, but they know you're screaming
Oh,
something.
dude, next time I get in an argument now, I'm just metal screaming.
Yeah.
Instead of
They'll
yelling.
never know. They'll never know, PJ. What is your guys' next show? Do you already have a next show?
Nope.
We are currently in the lab working on new music.
You are
In the-
our final show of the year.
Oh, very nice. In the lab, cooking up some stuff here.
We're not-
So where are you? What are you? How are you cooking this? Are you doing it at PJ's? Because
So we're all pretty independent artists. We have like our own home studios across the board.
Fantastic.
So James will at his home studio do drums. I do my covers, so I have my own professional recording, well, professional loosely, recording studio at my house, and then he's got the ability to be able to do guitar, and with him also like he does have like a side project that he kind of cooks on with like rap and makes his own beats and stuff. So he's got the actual like studio.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm the one that's in with all the tracks, mixing down,
yeah.
doing all the fucking
Oh,
bells
nice.
and whistles before we send out for masters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which also, shout out again to Joey.
Yeah,
Joey.
Love you, boy.
Mr. Joey, man.
Joey, man, might be helping us out actually with a little bit of mixing and mastering. So
Nice. So how do you do? Do you do the drums on an acoustic kit, or do you have an electric kit, or how do you record those drums?
I had an acoustic kit for a while,
Yeah.
and
we even
it
got
ended
mics
up.
for it.
I finally beat it up enough to where I'm turning it into furniture now.
Furniture.
Yeah, I just got a house and
Yeah, our last practice, he went
remodeling
right
that.
through his kick drum.
yeah, went
Yeah.
right through the kick
What?
drum.
Literally, it was
The leg's been broken for a long time, so it wobbles a whole bunch.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we were getting into a jam.
But
Literally.
what I send them usually is just program stuff on my iPad.
You program the drums?
Yep.
You're like so confident. You're like,
Usually
I
through
could play
GarageBand.
anything I program on here.
Oh, yeah,
Is that
it's
what you
pretty
do?
easy.
Yeah.
It gives you a bunch of, because like, I think it in my head first, or
Yeah.
it's something that we've been practicing and playing forever that I'm now programming.
Yeah.
That's actually more often what it is. Is
Also,
I'll play on a real drum set first,
world's
and
best-
then I go.
World's best
reprogram it.
air drummer here too.
Yeah.
Ooh, there we
But
go.
that's for the longest time. For a few years straight, I didn't have any drums at all.
Yeah.
And I just would play air drums with headphones in. I
Damn.
envision a drum set in my head and play it, and then by
He's
the
like
time
the
I got
Muhammad
back
Ali
behind
of, like,
one,
drumming.
yeah, and I also got to give credit to the fact that played church drums for a couple years. I did that just to get back behind a drum set
Yeah.
finally. And by the time I did, I noticed a difference just from playing the air drums, because I just like envisioned
'Cause
like
it's
a
mental.
standard layout. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's fantastic. I can't wait to hear that. When do you expect it to be dropping here?
We're
How long do you
trying
think?
to get it done in time for Blammy season.
What's Blammy season?
The Blue Water Music Awards that we were talking about earlier.
So-
when we
okay.
won Best Original Act, we've also won our first year as a band. The year before that, we won the Best What the Fuck Act. That's an award they have
How
as
did you
well.
win that? They,
By being a What the Fuck band.
So
they're like, what the fuck?
the local
That's a good thing.
I actually talked to the owner of the organization.
are we admitting that it's rigged?
I was
Organizer.
gonna
Hold
say,
on.
don't say it like that.
Hold on.
The
And we said,
organizer,
"Please make
PJ.
us the-"
Yeah, I talked to the owner, and what he said was we had such a loud and heavy sound, but it was only 3 people on the stage. Like,
Right.
when you came in, when we got here, you were like, I see bass,
Yeah.
I see drums, I see singer, no bassist.
Oh, yeah.
good
I thought it was Harley.
Yeah.
Harley's over here.
I'm
the
not,
bassist.
not a musical type, really.
He was just right here, and he said when he came up, we had such a loud and prominent fucking sound
Yeah.
that it was like, what the fuck? There's only 3 guys on this stage, but
Yeah.
they sound like they sound.
Yeah. See, that's the thing when the music can speak for itself, where you could be missing elements like that, and the
Yeah.
music's so strong that it stands out. Because there was a time where my band, we were supposed to play in Jackson for this guy's like backyard show sort of thing, and he called it Hollowpalooza. Shout out that dude. I tried reaching out to him again. I was like, let's do another Hollowpalooza, but I couldn't find him. It's like he hit himself. But my lead guitarist and my bassist, they were like, oh, bro, it's too far. And then something else happened. And me and the drummer Garrett were like, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. And so we showed up as a 2-piece, just guitar and the drums. And so I went over to the amp, and I added a little bass to it, you know what I mean? I maybe turned down the treble a little bit, but I was like, fuck it, we're just going to do the songs. We chose songs that didn't have guitar solos as like a core structure to it.
Yeah.
But we just went out there and just gave it all. And it was so funny after we got done with the first song, because I said we're pop punk or whatever. And we get done with the first song we played, and they're like, that's the heaviest punk rock I ever heard. I got like a sound clip of that. I was like, hell yeah. And they were just like shocked, because the band before us, they were like a 5-piece metal band. It was so funny. Me and Garrett are looking at each other, because they're bringing in gear and gear and gear and gear. They had gear after gear. I was like, damn, they brought everything. Because this guy, the one thing was supposed to be cool was, we got to have a house kit. He had like a 5150 cabinet and a bunch of stuff. He's like, you guys, nobody has to bring nothing. And so all the other bands didn't, except for the band right before us with a 5-piece. They were like, oh, we're not playing with your gear. We're playing all this stuff. And I remember they were like sludge metal. It was so slow and doomy, and it was really heavy. And I was like, bro, I don't know how we're going to follow this. And so I was a little concerned, but we were like, fuck it, let's just go out there. And we did it, and everybody just had such a good time. And it was so funny. They were like, this is how good it is with 2 people. What happens if you brought the other guys? It's like, it gets better. It gets even better.
I will say, personally, I fucking love Trash, dude. That song goes so fucking hard.
Trash.
Or Dirt.
Oh, dirt. Yeah. I get that all the time, because it's like one of the things they're like, it's either dirt or trash or garbage. I get a lot of like, oh, that garbage song. I'm like, oh, dirt. Yeah. See, and that's my only problem with what we've released so far is like, I just don't like how it sounds. And not that there's a problem if the guy that we did the first EP is watching, he didn't do anything wrong in particular. It was our first time in the studio.
Yeah.
And so you got to go through that first time, like,
That's exactly
working
how I
with a
feel
click and
about our whole first EP. Like,
What's on Spotify right now? It's not the best.
now that I've actually spent time myself
Getting that
recording,
experience
trying
out.
to fucking organize tracks, what do I need to add? Like, I also learned that like the fuller guitar sound literally comes from your center and then 2 all the way panned tracks.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah,
The 3 track.
it sounds so much
It's also-
fucking better and fuller.
It's also difficult too, because when you're doing music like that,
Yeah.
especially vocally,
Yeah.
dude, I could smack layer upon my vocals and have some insane things, but then it's also like, do you do the overproduced step?
Yeah.
Or do you give you the genuine like article like this is what you hear and this is what you will hear exactly live.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult. Like, when we first went into the studio, like I wanted to overproduce the shit. I wanted to put layer vocal on layer vocal. I wanted to sound like I was opening up gates of hell itself and just all this other stuff. And the guys were just like, hey man, listen, we understand, but like at the same time, how are we gonna replicate that live?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, PJ like sometimes will like fry scream with me, but it was also like they did have a very solid point, and that's I think another thing that a lot of bands do nowadays. I think that's truthfully why some of the bands that are starting to pop off, especially hardcore music as a whole, it's simple.
Yeah.
It's slow, it's stupid fucking heavy, it's pissed off.
Yeah.
And it's not lying to you, it's not beating around the fucking bush. It is just straight up, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
And you're gonna probably punch me back, and we're gonna fight.
And it works well for those like that genre. When you listen to that, you expect it.
Hands
You know
down.
what I mean? So if you're listening to something hardcore and it sounds overproduced, it's a turnoff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
With
it's
that
not
being
really what you
said, though,
expect.
This new album that we're working on right now
Is gonna be pretty.
it's gonna be pretty produced. Just 'cause
Well
we want
produced.
it, like we want it to be very different from the first one. We want to continue to evolve as a band. New recording strategies. Our songwriting's gotten better. We've gotten better individually as musicians. And yeah, I don't want to reveal anything else about it. PJ name dropped it a little bit earlier, but
Uh-oh.
actually-
You have to
I'm
rewind.
gonna pretend he didn't. Not all the way. He didn't drop the full name.
Yeah.
But
I'm smarter than that.
oh yeah.
See, that's the thing about like overproduced just means like you're doing too much over what's necessary. But for me, well produced, like you're saying, like it's going to be well produced. That's I think what is the necessary entry because there's so much music out there. There's so many bands. There's so many people doing their stuff. So you got to sound good. It has to sound good enough to listen to and not have issues. So for me, I'm big on the sonic end of it. Like just sonically, how does it sound with EQing and like all that stuff that goes into it? Because a lot of people don't understand. Like even my dad, I'm talking all the time about like, man, I've been trying to like that EP we just released. I probably spent like 50, 60 hours on it. Just trying to make it sound better and better and better. And I'm complaining to my dad. My dad's like, why don't you just stick a microphone in the room and just like, blah. And I'm like, bro, it sounds like shit. You don't understand.
That's what
it's
we
hard.
did with our Spotify like demo that we have up there right now. Is like we just put a microphone up to a drum and then just one in the room. And in certain parts of the tracks, you can straight up hear the audio from the drum set being played from a distance while also hearing the guitar in both the drum mics.
Which song
and
is it? You can hear the fucking floor creak.
The floor
The
creak.
beginning of Conjure while the intro's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear
And
the
it's
floor
nothing against the
creaking.
guys that recorded.
It was our first time in the studio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we literally straight up told them we were just like we're just trying to get in, get out.
Yeah.
Like because at that point in time, the mindset was a lot of venues that we wanted to play, like the Sanctuary and stuff.
They wanted something to
They
hear.
needed to hear something.
Recorded music.
So
Yep.
it was like we just need to have something. And this dude was just like, "Hey man, I'll do $100 a song. We'll mix and master it, all that." I was like, "It's a
good
fucking
deal.
steal." So I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was a
"Yeah, we'll
good
do 5 songs." So we sent him everything, or we went there, we did everything. He sent it back to us. We put it up on the internet, and I'm still happy to say that we've put music out. But it's definitely like something where like listening back on it, it's like I do wish that we would have taken a little bit more time, and that's why with this new one that we're working on, and I almost said the name and I had to catch myself.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't need James's wrath on me.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoiler
I'll
alert.
be spanking his little booty.
The new one we're
Can you
working
do that
on.
to me after the show, anyways?
Oh,
Hey,
no.
you got it coming. You got
Oh no.
We've been working on it now for almost like 6 months.
Oh boy.
We have been going tirelessly over lyrics. We have been sitting here and revisioning everything. We have one song for sure that we're dropping, which is the one that we'll play later on tonight. That one is our standalone single. I don't believe it's going to be a part of that thing.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah, it will.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But
It
we're,
will be.
we're just dropping it first as a single. Spoiler
Okay.
alert, this
Ooh.
song is coming soon.
get
That's
'em a
why we're
taste.
so willing to play it for you tonight.
That's the taste, the preview.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't realize I slipped up on that
You're,
one.
you're good.
Uh,
Not you
but-
bad, you good.
But yeah, this one, it's been the complete opposite mindset of like, okay, now we need to actually care about this.
Yeah.
You know, like we did care about it before, but this one, it's like we're going to be playing this one probably for 2 to 3 years now, give or take, unless the next thing afterwards comes quicker than that. Who knows? Because we don't want to be the types of people where it's like new music and then 6 months later, new music, 6 months later, new music.
It seems like you got to be sometimes nowadays, like because Knocked Loose is dropping a new EP every 6 months.
Yeah.
But as a fan, it's hard for me to keep up with that. To me,
Yeah, I'm still learning
their
the
Red
songs.
EP
Still 2
that they
albums ago,
did, like 3 EPs ago. That was only like a year ago. It's still the new Knocked Loose to me. I haven't even.
But see, that's the
caught all of
problem,
it.
or the counterpoint of that is like you do all this work and you put out an album, and then it's real, everybody's listening to it right then and there, and then you fast forward 9 months or so, and it's fallen off their mental track because they've already checked it out, and maybe they've listened to it on repeat, but now it's a year later and maybe it's not. So I can see like these days it's more about it's like drip feeding.
And
but the
like-
problem is like people's brains are mush, and we need to train people's brains to be better with higher attention spans and stuff. It's like just listen to it
Some
later.
of the songs
And
going on to this album we've been playing for a fucking grip.
Yeah.
So all of our fans that come and see us live,
Yeah.
they know the songs, they expect the songs. But now when we actually record them and put them out, people that have only heard stuff like our EP, things we've shared, it's still going to be new and fresh to them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And, there's people in the chat saying they enjoy the songs. I appreciate you guys listening to the music. I'm not saying, like, don't listen to the music. I would have took it off of DistroKid if I was, like, literally that upset about it. I'm like, I just wanted to have something out there where it's like we get off stage and then you're going, because I had a guy reach out to me, just a random dude, and it was like 2 weeks after we did a show, and he messaged the band page and he was like, hey, man, just saw you guys play. I think it was at The Loving Touch, and he was like, I can't get that song out of my head. It's like, I am dirt, I'm trash, something about garbage or something. And I was like, oh, that one's called Dirt. He's like, is it available anywhere? I couldn't find it. I was like, no, at that time it wasn't. And that's why I was telling the guys, like, all right, we definitely got to make this on the first EP.
Yeah, dude, because that
And-
chorus is fucking ingrained in
Yeah,
my
so it's
head,
okay.
bro.
I
feel
I'm
like
glad
this
it-
is like a Madonna, like a virgin thing for you, man.
Like a virgin.
It's your most popular song, give or take. Generalized here.
Yeah.
And it's like you've got like this. I'm gonna say like negative energy behind it, but you're partial on it. You're like, yeah.
Hey, I want to be able to stand on all 10 of my toes and go, you gotta listen to this song. We put out this song and it sounds so good. You gotta listen to it. And because I just don't enjoy the sonic quality of that recording, I don't tell nobody to listen to it. I wrote the song. I love the damn song. I remember when I wrote that song, I was in my kitchen. I wrote it on acoustic guitar, and I have the original recording of just me going, hey guys, talking to the band, hey guys, wrote this song last night. Check this out. Because I wrote the whole thing in a day. Lyrics, structure, everything. And because it just came out of me. And I remember envisioning when I was playing it, I literally teared up a little bit because the song to me is like when everybody in your life makes it feel like you can't do shit right.
Yep.
You are a fuck up, you're a loser, you're lazy, you're this or that.
Yep.
And so the lyrics just came fucking out of me. And then I'm playing the song and I'm jamming to it, and I could just imagine being in the crowd going, man, I feel like that way too. So I was envisioning like 10,000 people in the crowd going, I am, and I just thought, this is gonna be sweet.
When we first seen you during Color Wave, I'm not gonna lie to you, like hearing that song and standing in the crowd, I was like, dude, like that shit pierced.
So my idea is like I gotta re-record that. So I was telling the band, I was like,
gotta.
maybe it's not a remastering, it's a redoing, because a remaster means take the same thing and polish it a little bit.
So you do.
We gotta redo it a bit.
You call it dirt, and you say it's reimagined.
Reimagined. We'll put it in parentheses, reimagined. And so I want to shout out Absentees because they just put out, they've been trickling. They're doing it smart. They put out a couple singles. Now his ass is hurting. I know it. They put out, now his ass, I told him his ass was going to hurt.
About it
I
too.
told his ass was
I
going
don't
to
wanna
hurt.
be rude.
So they've put out 3 singles and they're going to be dropping their album pretty soon here. And so I heard the first single is called Thrash and Burn by Absentees. And as soon as I hit play, I was like, damn, is this Metallica, Anthrax? What the fuck is going on? Like, it just sounded so good. I was like, damn. And so I put that in a post to John, the drummer. And I was like, it sounds so good. He's like, thanks, man. And he wrote me on Messenger. And he was like, hey, we went for broke on this album. No joke. And I was like, I can tell. And he's like, but I got a buddy that we recorded our last album with or EP with. And, he'll do it for cheap, blah, blah. You want me to reach out to him? I said, honestly, we're broke as hell and really poor. So why don't you ask him how much it's going to be so that way we can get an idea how long it would take for us to save up for it, because I do want to make some more recordings. So he reached out to him and he was like, hey, man, he said he'll give you the same deal he gave me, which is like the Friends discount. And I was like, oh, sick. So I messaged the band. I was like, hey, this guy will do it. And basically he comes out for 1 day, 8 hours, record as much as you can, and then he includes the mixing and mastering all in the price. And I was like, oh, that's pretty solid. Now, that first studio experience, we had no idea what we're doing. That took us the whole weekend to record 3 songs. The whole weekend, we kept fucking up. We couldn't track this and that. And so I was telling the guys, we just got to be tight. on everything. And at first I said 3 songs, just to really nail 3 songs. But then I was like, well, it's 8 hours. If we're good, we could do 6 or 7. I heard Absentees did 7 or 8 in 8 hours. So I was like, if they could do it, we can do it too. And that's when I had the idea. I was like, maybe we re-record the first EP, the whole thing, because this is the craziest part. We got Dirt, and somebody out there said Baggage was their favorite song. And I love Baggage too, but we've reinvented Baggage. But the craziest part is the #1 song across all streaming platforms added up is the song that I made called I Just Want to Die. And I wrote it in 2019, suffering from severe depression. And I was literally just, I wanted a song where it wasn't an innuendo. It wasn't like I want to take my toaster in a bath or whatever. I was just like, I want to die. And that's why it has 3 exclamation marks, because I was like, I just want to put it out there. Like, that's how I fucking feel. Yeah. And here it is. And that's the #1 song. So I was like, I think we got to re-record that, because if people actually like it, they would like it a lot more if it sounded better. Yeah. So,
like, honestly, I would go back with the knowledge I have to get things to sound better to the same place to record some of our next material. I'd just do it like a different approach. Like, I'd still start with the scratch tracks, but then hide away, have James track just drums, go back, just track guitar, just track bass, and then just track vocal.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I can't wait to hear this stuff, but I think it's time. We're at hour 3. It's time for a song. So did we get we got a lot of comments here, so I feel like we got enough comments to unlock it. They want to, and I think Zachary keeps saying play Wings again, too.
Yep.
And honestly, after the deep conversation we had after Wings, if you heard the conversation and you didn't hear Wings, now you got to hear Wings again. So honestly, I think we just do, was it 3 songs, right? Because you were doing one song, the new song. And
we have Smith & Wesson, we have Slaughter, and then the new song.
The new song.
And then if we have enough time and if it's really something, we probably could go back and play Wings again, I imagine. Maybe.
Right. So we're doing...
Yes, new song last.
New song has to be last, because otherwise these people will leave. They'll be like, oh, I'll get the new song. I can leave now. You can't go anywhere. We're holding it hostage.
Right, so we're finishing out with 3 then, right?
Yeah, let's finish it out with 3, because every time you guys play one song, I'm like, I'm not done.
So
I'm not
it's
done.
It's fun because when we wrote this final song, we literally did exactly how we did with Conjure and Wings, where it literally, Slaughter goes right into the new song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is perfect.
So when we play it live, like, there's a lot of people that probably have heard this song, but just think it's Slaughter, because we don't say this next one. It's just immediately, and we're going.
They added a new long outro to Slaughter.
Yeah, they added some more to Slaughter. It was originally like a 2-minute song, but now it's like 4. What happened?
Zach's really begging for Wings again.
He's begging. He's just typing wings. I thought he was talking about chicken wings.
Man,
I thought he was like,
too.
We got to bring out chicken wings. I got to feed these guys too. No, he's talking about
you got
wings.
some chicken wings?
I got chicken nugs. Chicken nuggies.
PJ will eat anything you put in front of him.
Dude. Stop talking about food. I'm hungry.
Fantastic. All right, time to fog and lights. Here we go.
All right.
Who it is? No idea who that is. So, while we're getting this all sorted together, so this next song is the one we were talking about way earlier in the session. This is it's not Delivery, it's Smith & Wesson.
Yes.
So, story behind this one. The rest of them I can explain later. They're really simple, but this is the last like big piece of like Gatling lore that a lot of people don't know. So every time before we play this, I say the song goes out to anyone that makes you feel like a piece of shit. Never, acknowledges all the strides and triumphs that you've done as a person. Everything you've done to make yourself a better person. Everything that you've done to grow as a human being. They just, anytime they have the chance to, they kick you while you're down. I wrote the song because my grandfather was dying of cancer. And he had married a new woman. And she hated my family so much that I was actually banned from his hospital room. So in his last dying days, the guy that had raised me and basically been my father figure, I was not allowed to see. I didn't see him until after he died. So there was about 6 months that I just did not see him, did not talk to him. And I had so much rage and hatred for this woman that I made the song, and it goes out to her. So if you're out there, fuck you.
Bitch.
I almost said her name, but we're not going to go that far.
I will pass. As a knife makes its way across your fucking neck. You're a filthy fucking disgrace. I'm a human being. You stupid little bitch. All the games that you play. Now I am outside with the emptiness inside. No pain can
Fantastic.
This next one I wrote from being high and watching A Cabin in the Woods. It's called Slaughter in Corridor 11. Big horror fan. Next one's a new one. It's called Oh Skinwalker.
Baby, what you think?
We got time to do wings real quick.
It's time for wings. Zachary, this one's for you, you MRFer. Thanks for your 1,000 comments.
You're getting this because I like you. All right. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for supporting Al. Thanks for Al having us out. You guys have a fucking good one.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Get the Gatling. I appreciate you guys so much, bro. This has been monumental.
Absolutely.
Momentous
One for the
occasion. Thank you, everybody, for watching out here. Get Harley back in here so we can thank him, too. Harley, thank you so much for bringing these boys out here. We needed this. Harley is the MVP. Appreciate you. Everybody out in the chat, appreciate you. Zachary, of course, we appreciate you. We didn't forget you. Cheyenne, Kayla, Jason. Jason's like, what did you bring me on this show for? You're for the moral support. You know that. You absolutely
Hey, dude, I was enjoying it just with everybody else. You know,
There you
like,
go.
I'm in here in the chat just vibing and
Morgan,
listening to the song.
Dubstep, everybody, thank you all. Metal Man, we didn't forget you.
Of course.
Scintilla? Scintilla said, who are you guys? They're Get the Gatling. Were you watching the show?
It's right
Get
there in
the
the
damn
title when
Gatling.
you click on it.
Did you not hear that? Listen to that. Look at them. Just look at these guys.
Come support us. You know what? Get a chance to know us.
Fantastic. All right, fellas, we're getting the hell out of here. Thank you so much. I'm playing the outro music, and time to go here. Thank you. Goodbye.
I'm sorry, everyone. The show's over, but we thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time. We're out of here. You what? Good day. Are you ready?